Alrighty, how are we, everybody? Mic's on, that's good. News. Hate when I start these streams and I fucking forget to put the mic on. It's always exciting.
It's very professional.
It is very professional from me, eh? How we doing? AFL edits and Muffin. Big win from your boys yesterday, Muffin, of course. Bulldogs. Big game today, Port Adelaide. My brother's team up against the Giants. Thought we'd actually do this a little bit more of a... Yeah, it was a bit of an experiment, this one today. Thinking in finals if the Swans...
Make it.
Well, I don't want to say... I don't want to fucking jinx it. But fucking... if we go pretty deep into... If we go into finals, you know, a couple of games, I'm probably going to have to stream a Swans game, I'm thinking. So, thinking with your team here, not that you'll be commentating it, but... I would just say it now. If they are... you know, if it's a close game or whatever, you will have to deal with it. Unfortunately, Jack. Are you ready for that?
Yeah. I reckon this game could be a really close game today because both teams are
needing this win.
Needing a win because they've both been underperforming since. Yeah. Even though the later positions don't really say that for Port Adelaide, they're beating the teams that they normally do beat. They're beating the lower ranked teams that they're
nobodies,
and the teams that they should be competing against. They just don't show up.
So the subs today, guys, are Toby McMullen for the Giants and Quinton Narkle for Port Adelaide. First game of the year for him, isn't it?
Yeah. So Port Adelaide did some changes at selection, which was a bit surprising, really.
Yeah, it looks like Dixon's probably going to get a couple of weeks on the sidelines from his suspension.
The thing is, because the West Adelaide player did get concussed in the end. Just a Foxtel broadcast. Wow.
Yeah, of course it is.
Well, I'm surprised. It's a Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Well, 3:30.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I thought it would be 7.
AFL just don't get... Channel 7 just can't be fucked anymore. So, Port Adelaide win the toss, and Connor Rosie has won it. Don't know which way he pointed. Why did I even talk? Anyway, so Port Adelaide made some big changes over the week, but big inclusion, of course, is Connor Rosie. Big outs as well. Dixon being one, Finlayson and another, both being omitted. Ollie Lord back in the team, first time this year, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a big one for both teams here. I have tipped the Giants. We did talk about it in the tips this week. You've tipped Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I think Port Adelaide should start well because they're coming off the bye, but
been a bit of an anomaly the bye. Who comes off the bye, the better. So players moving into position now. Oh, good news, guys! Kelly Underwood's commentating. So if you listen to us, you don't have to listen to her. Anyway, so currently on the ladder with Giants, a couple of results over the weekend. They have been pushed out of the 8. Collingwood coming from the clouds to steal it from North Melbourne, moving to 3rd spot. Unbelievable, that game.
Really?
If I'm a North Melbourne fan, I am so sorry. Yeah, unbiased podcast. I missed the last quarter with me and my brother were doing something. We switched it back, looked at the scoreline, and saw Collingwood won it by 1 point. I'm going to watch the highlights later, but what an absolute turnaround. North Melbourne, I know they weren't expected to win that game, but if you lead by 54 points, that is honestly embarrassing to lose it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what
I don't care who you are.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
But here we go. Last game of round 14. Giants up against Port Adelaide. Big game for both sides. Port Adelaide win this, they can consolidate their spot in the top 4. The Giants can get themselves back in the 8 with a win today. The Orange Tsunami siren gone around, what's it called now? NG Stadium?
NG Stadium.
Okay. And of course, it looks like McEntee been tagging forwards for the last couple of weeks. He's gone to Lockie Whitfield today. Alright, can we just get on with it, for fuck's sake?
Technically, wasn't this game supposed to start at 3:30?
Yeah, I know. They don't start on time anymore.
No.
But anyway, here we go. In the middle of NG Stadium, last game round 14. So from the bounce, Soldo wins the tack. Green goes up high. Handball forward, spiked away from Houston. And now Burns-Jones working back to Houston, who gets it inside the forward 50. Great kick. And Georgiades up on the lead early for Port Adelaide. So a great start there out of the middle.
There was a very newish looking forward line for Port Adelaide. So it's going to be interesting how they function today.
Yeah, well, they did. I think not these three. So Georgiades is kind of a newbie in this forward line. But last year, Marshall and Lord were with each other for quite a while of the year, able to perform. Georgiades obviously out for the majority of last year with injury. But he's been a bit up and down since the return of Mitch Georgiades. He'll have the first shot of the afternoon. He'll kick from just inside 50. A nice smooth approach. Georgiades kicks truly, and Port Adelaide off to the perfect start. You can clap.
Good if you're trying to be unbiased here.
No, you can be a fan. It's alright. It's just me. I don't care.
He's been one of the bright starts for Port Adelaide in the forward end so far this season. Yeah, he's had a bit of up and down coming back from injury, but it was a good start. I'm surprised Buckley has started on him. I thought it would have been.
Is Lee Clear in today? Yeah, he would be. I'm surprised he didn't actually go, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Buckley hasn't gone to Ollie Lord.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, I thought that Taylor would definitely go to Marshall. But yeah. So a good start for Port. Looks like Bedford maybe's on Butters today. Maybe it'd be an interesting tagging role for him. Bedford had a pretty down year after bursting onto the scene for the Giants last year. Briggs shoves Soldo out of the way. And now the Giants can work it forward. Long handball for Green. Not much direction involved in it. Farrell missed the gift of Butters. Sweating on it is the Giants. Now Kelly, usually a smooth mover. Great spoil there from Alia from behind to get it away from Riccardi and out of bounds. So inside the forward 50 for the Giants early. It's a good spoil there from Alia.
Yeah.
Needed to make it. Obviously his closing speeds, one of his major attributes, was full display there. Not a big crowd in NG Stadium. Not a big surprise, though.
No.
So tap down. Briggs rolling the ruck early. Boak took it, then got dragged down. Should be gone. And Travis Boak, pinned early, will be going to Kieran Briggs. He made the step there. Broke one tackle, but he shouldn't have given... He just feigned another one, and then that was his prior. So Kieran Briggs burst onto the scene last year. Still at the ripe old age of 24. He's got a big career in front of him. He's taken over really from the Shane Mumford big bustling ruckman role. And Kieran Briggs comes in now, kicks towards goal. He's hooked it to the left-hand side.
Yeah, Port Adelaide, if the Giants are going to perform today, they need to be able to win it from stoppage because that's Port's one wood, so... They've got to pretty much break even, I think, at least, the Giants, to have any real shot today.
So now Farrell goes with a long kick down the wing. Bernard Jones did want to get a spoil on it in front of Himmelberg. Callahan out wide. Rosie coming through. Great little spin as well. Stands still for a moment. Puts the brakes on. Now gives it back to Horn Francis. It went one way, then bursts a long ball. Iden in front couldn't mark. Burgoyne almost fumbled out there to McEntee. Went back hard and tackled well on Taylor. And the ball will be called. This is a great little move here from Rosie. They've missed him the last couple of weeks. Tap down now. Brought out of bounds there was Bedford. And a couple of players lock up there. Bedford's got the real hard tag today on Zach Butters. Don't think Bedford's done that too many times in his career. He's done it a few times playing as like a forward defensive role, but never done it in the midfield. And it's a... Huge matchup for him today. So from the ruck, boat gets out the back of them. Green handballs forward towards Toby Green. Bergman tried to get worried out of it. Did really well. Burgoyne gets wrapped up there by Callahan. Ball goes to ground. And the umpire will call for it. Giants do well there. Gain about 25 metres on the territory.
They've started well here, the Giants in the midfield. They've got a few stoppages and...
Definitely brought the pressure.
Yeah, and they've started the pressure well.
Soldo won it down. Juan Francis couldn't gather. Did well there. Callahan over top to Bedford. Lowered his shoulder. Couldn't get the free kick. Spills out now to Green. Handballing out wide for Callahan. If he can gather, he can go. Just kept it in front of him. Oh, got a hit there from his own teammate. Did well there, Zerk Thatcher. And now he gathers it off the third handball chain. Did well. And now they can rebound here. Port Adelaide through McEntee. He's run a long way. Got a handball. No, he didn't. He got pinned.
Yeah, that was way too far.
So now the Giants have the free kick on the wing. Whitfield works the kick inside on the bounce to Haynes. A little bit dangerous. Had his time though. Iden over the top to Himmelberg. And now Kelly. He's got a few options. He's got one just outside 50. That's where he goes to Thomas. And a short little lead up there from Jesse Hogan. Tough kick, long way out, but it's not beyond him.
It was a good job there by the Giants. They spread the field. It's been the first time to start off the game, the teams spread the field and
Locked up on that line.
Yeah, and Port Adelaide just couldn't combat it.
So Jesse Hogan had a massive year, had a massive 18 months. Came from the clouds to join the Giants. He goes towards goal. Not the greatest kick. Riccardi vives it off and then Toby Green just couldn't get a boot to it. Oh, he was dangerous there, standing in the goal square basically all on his own.
It's not what Port Adelaide needed there.
Yeah, I thought he was on it then.
He just didn't get the bounce.
So Houston comes out the back goal square, short to Zerk Thatcher. Been interesting this year.
Yeah.
Hasn't had a bad performance, I don't think, so far. Just been serviceable. Wants to switch it now to Farrell. In the back 50 at the moment.
Just not a lot of movement forward.
He's only got really Horn Francis out wide. He may try and cut through the middle here. Dangerous ball in the centre square. 3-on-1 in the Giants' favour. It lands with Whitfield. Now Bedford can go. Long handball on the bounce to Ward, who can thump a long ball. He goes for a cut. It's not a very good kick, though. Giants got to do better there.
Callum Wood had so much more time than he realised. He had more time to have composed kick inside forward 50.
Not really the distributor you really want going inside the forward 50, though. He's a lot more clearance and, bustling midfielder, but he had a lot of space there. Bedford is not letting any Butters get anywhere away from him today. He will get the clearance, though. Long towards the wing on the bounce. He gets out towards Iden and Haynes. Going in hard there was Rosie. Going really hard. Great tackle. Pinned him. Great work, Rosie. Welcome back to the Port Adelaide lineup. He wants to go. He looks fresh. He sends it towards the forward 50. 2-on-3 here in the Giants' favour. Going back. Couldn't mark that one. There was Buckley. Taylor handballs out wide. McEntee wrapped up. Slung to ground. And it'll be a ball up in the forward pocket. Got to get the numbers there, Port Adelaide. A couple of opportunities now when the Giants have had the bigger numbers. They've done well to bring it to ground, though. So locked up in the forward pocket. No ruckman could get there. Soldo tries to tap it out. Kelly wrapped up, let it go. Play on, Mead out the back. Tucked up in the pocket. Setting up to the goal square. Georgiades did well there. Buckley for a moment. Georgiades went on his move. Then got dragged down. Great pressure there from Lockie Whitfield. Pins him, gone.
That was just... He didn't have any teammates. He didn't see the teammates. He was looking for goals there, Mitch Georgiades, and that was all he was doing.
He made a weird shimmy, but didn't go anywhere. So the long kick at half back is a good option there. Riccardi sticks up his hands, drags it down. Oh, it's a big reversal here. It's going to Port Adelaide, so it must have been downfield. Not needed, of course. So Aaliyah gets the free kick, hit half forward. Works it in short to Mead. He'll want to go. He's run the perimeter. It's not the greatest kick. Has to make Boak run back for it. He did well to gather. He works it inside 50. In fact, just outside. Takes the mark. It's Georgiades again. He's looking dangerous. He's probably too far out to score, though. I would say he's outside of it. I don't know. You're probably more of an expert on this.
Oh, he's got it. If he can get the distance. But he sets it up.
He's going to work it up. Free kick called. And now Butters is giving away a free kick. So it's going to be a free kick in the defensive 50 for the Giants. And a little bit of argy-bargy early. Looks like Butters is definitely the target. He's the one who gave away the free kick to the Giants. And then tackles Tom Green. Did really well with the pressure there. And then Rosie gets a spoil. So locked inside Port Adelaide's forward 50.
I reckon Tom Green will be asking why wasn't that a free like it was last week. But
so here it is here. Oh, hit to the jaw. Could be looked at. Nothing involved in it.
Nah.
Definitely. I think the Port scarf's not on at the moment.
No, not based on this year with Pendlebury in round 2.
Oh, okay. So it rolls forward here. Bedford gathers nicely. Just a bomb outside the defensive 50. Burgoyne did well to gather. Now Rosie out the back. Houston just jams it on the boot inside 50. But the Giants have the numbers.
Port Adelaide just need to start look a bit more composed. They've been bombing it a bit too much so far in this game.
So Nick Haynes here in the back pocket. He goes along with the kick, looking for Ward 2-on-1. Got a hand up there, but couldn't drag it down and knocked out of bounds. Two veterans right there. Travis Boak matched up on Callan Ward. He's not too impressed there. Thought an arm was held. Oh, Callan Ward just gives a little big bump there on Willem Drew. Looks like he's matched up on Tom Green today. Big matchup, that one. So the umpire throws it back into play. Soldo couldn't gather. Now Wines gets it on the boot towards the forward 50. Himmelberg didn't mark. Gets into his move. Gets a handball out to Riccardi, who just sockers it off the ground. That's going to bounce towards the boundary line. It stays in bounds, and Travis Boak more than happy to just run that over the line. So a little bit of an arm wrestle early in this first quarter. So still 12 and a half minutes in this first quarter to go.
Yeah, so you can see that Bedford's went to Butters and Drew has went to Tom Green.
So in the middle here, Soldo, great tackle there on Daniels. It's going to be hard to tackle the smaller man, but he did really well. In fact, no, he got a high one. Okay, so he didn't do that well. I thought he did a lot better than that.
To be honest...
I think that's a pretty decent tackle.
I think you give a bit of leeway for the tall guy. Oh.
Long mark! Did really well there was Jesse Hogan. Stuck up the long limbs. And he's already had a slider from a pretty similar position.
Yeah, he's a bit closer this time, so... He'll definitely have the distance in him this time. I don't know what Ali's doing there. Like, you got to put a big fist...
He only got blocked for...
It was half a metre.
It was actually radical there, yeah. It's just half a metre off there.
Yeah.
So Jesse Hogan already had a slider. The trademark stutter step comes in, kicks towards goal. He's hooked it a little bit again. So the Giants peppering a little bit early in this quarter.
I think they've settled the Giants. They just haven't been able to replicate it to goals.
So now Ollie Wines in the back 50. Gives off the handball. They can work it off half back now to Port Adelaide. They go towards the outer wing. Good mark. Should have marked it in the end, actually, Burne-Jones. Hit the turf, but now Burgoyne. Runs a little move, then goes long with the kick. Not a very good option, and Buckley will cut it off. And the Giants want to quickly rebound. Green to Ward. He goes across the centre square. Missed Kelly. Has some time to gather, though. And Himmelberg gives him an option. That's where he's going to go now. So Himmelberg went one way, a little shimmy. Gives it back to Kelly. He keeps on running. Josh Kelly will do it all day. Sends it long. Callum Brown's there. Brought to ground. Great row from O'Halloran. Toby Green got slung. Cadman, not the greatest handball. Mead about to get wrapped up by Thomas. Got a handball away. Toby ever dangerous. He rolls it through and the Giants finally get there first. The Toby Green gets the first goal. Darcy Burne-Jones was pretty adamant that he touched that. But it will obviously have to be set back up to the middle.
Yeah.
A little bit too easy there. They just had the extra number there, the Giants. They just kept on running. Great pressure as well. I don't think Darcy Burne-Jones has touched that.
He definitely didn't get a touch in that, but whoever was on Toby Green in that contest just lost him.
I think it's still Williams there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good tackle there by Harvey Thomas there, just the forward pressure.
Oh, I mean, if that's hit his shoelace, maybe, but I don't think that's been a bit of
You can't claim that, really.
So the Giants finally get there first. They've had a few opportunities in this game. They finally get their first major.
They're definitely winning it out of the midfield at the moment, the Giants.
Yeah, they've been a lot more stronger in the clinches early.
Yeah.
So as routine these days, Toby Green taken off the ground. Oh, they have reviewed it. No way this was going to be called. What? What do you mean it deviates? Oh.
God, are you sure?
Oh, maybe a little, but
from that angle, I can't see it.
That's a tough call.
I don't think I would have changed that. Jesus.
That's a huge call. So the goal has been reversed to a behind. That is a massive call early. I'm sure you guys will see the replay later tonight. But that was... Look, it may have been touched, but Christ, the evidence isn't showing a lot there.
Yeah, we don't have the HD cameras here, so there's no...
Yeah, that was fucking blurry as hell vision as well. Surely we should have had better than that. Like, surely there was a camera on the goal.
I think if you give that a goal, I don't think anybody would dispute that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you don't see Burne-Jones really disputing that either.
Yeah. So now Port Adelaide moved all the way up to half forward. The man of the moment is Darcy Byrne-Jones. Works it inside 50. And a great kick lead up there to Todd Marshall. For the quick reply, this would be a real heartburn. Oh, fucking, I don't even know what it would be. Fucking hell. Would be a real destroyer to the momentum of the Giants early in this one.
To be honest, that was a bit too easy from the ball movement of the power to move that forward there.
So Todd Marshall came into the fray a couple of years ago. Had a bit of a down year last year, but he's always been good at this. Todd Marshall, umpire does not move, and Port Adelaide have their second.
And that was just like a real big slap in the face to the Giants there.
I still can't believe they reversed that decision. That was a terrible call.
From the angle...
Well, not terrible, but it's fucking not enough evidence at all to reverse that decision.
I don't think...
It's had to come off his, toe.
I think it's come off the bottom of his ankle, I reckon. That's the only place I can see. But, jeez. From the angle that you got there, I don't think you can overturn that. That's a huge call. Yeah, that's a huge call.
But back to the game, Todd Marshall kicked a brilliant goal at the moment. So 2 of their key forwards have got on the board early. So the Giants just got to recompose themselves here. Briggs takes it out of the ruck, slams it on the boot forward. High ball to centre half forward. Great mark there from Zerk Thatcher. He's had a few touches early. So now Zerk Thatcher wanted to give off the handball. Gets a little bit...
adventurous.
A little bit adventurous, I would say. Yeah, works it out wide with the kick. Great mark from Byrne-Jones. Immediately turns. Great little kick there on the move. And now he gets it back here. DBJ sends it long for Marshall in the spot. Great spoil coming across there from Callan Ward. Thumps it through for a minor score. Starting to work into it the last few minutes, Port Adelaide. So 9 points to the margin. Short kick from Whitfield to the toes of Iden. Has to pick it up and quickly slam it on his boot towards the outer wing. Good mark there from Hogan. He's looked good so far, just hasn't hit the scoreboard. So now Hogan sends a high ball, looking for Harvey Thomas and Brown. Don't know about them two as the option, but it's threw that away. Got very lucky. Now Burgoyne gets into his spin, threw that away as well. Bedford, a little bit of a harder tackle there from Bergman, just letting him know he's there. So just over 8 minutes to go in this first quarter. Port Adelaide with the only 2 goals of it. Briggs with the tap. Callahan and Green. Green little handball got interrupted and it's just out of bounds. So early stages, you think Port Adelaide deserve a 9-point lead?
No.
No.
No, I don't think they do. I think the Giants, very unlucky they didn't get that goal paid, and I think they've settled the better. I think the last couple of minutes, yes, Port Adelaide have just settled into it, though.
So Briggs with a big thump down. It rolls out towards the outer part of the stoppage, and again, we'll get it recalled for a throw-in.
To start off the game, Rosie was starting forward, but he's just come back into the midfield, so...
Maybe limited bit.
I think you get limited minutes today going back into the midfield.
Yeah, I don't think they want to fucking risk another injury.
No, he's already had too many injuries this year.
So Lord going into the ruck here up against Briggs. Briggs takes the advantage and taps it straight down to Callahan. Sends a long handball. Wasn't the greatest. Now Farrell gets it out to Burgoyne. Couldn't grab it cleanly. Brown puts on the pressure. Lord overran it. Now it runs under Burgoyne. Ball gets locked up. So just a couple of fumbles there. So Briggs again, manhandles Lord. Threw that away though, and now Port can rebound. Butters to Rosie, and he switches it perfectly to Darcy Byrne-Jones. He just has to tread water for the moment, doesn't have a lot down the line. Eventually gets an option. Long kick there for Marshall, just couldn't mark. Great pressure from Taylor. He gets the 1-2 from Hillenberg. Has to work back around. Marshall did well. The handball to Angwin was dangerous. Jammed it on the boot and turned it over again. Williams back in the team this week. Not the greatest kick, but a good read there from Wines. Gives it off to Marshall. Wormburner inside the forward 50. Buckley gets shut down by Georgiades. And it will be a ball up. Good tackle there from Georgiades. Once Port Adelaide get it inside their forward 50, they look dangerous. They just haven't had a lot up there in this first quarter. So from the ruck, Briggs just takes it out of there. Misses the handball to Ward though, and Burgoyne, great little move. Tumble punt towards goal. Great work there from Iden to get a touch onto it just before the goal line.
I don't know what happened in that forward contest there, but
yeah, I know.
No way. Don't know why there was no Port Adelaide ruckman there.
There was not even any. It wasn't even like set up for a stoppage. So now he can run now. Buckley. He can go long with the kick. He's got an option. It's Jesse Hogan just outside 50. He'll take it. Maybe a little bit too far out. Maybe he'll go on a bit of a wheel. He's got a couple of options leading up. He goes with the long option for Callum Brown. Good mark. Oh, no, he couldn't mark that there. Bergman hits the ground. Ball locked up. And inside the forward pocket, the Giants will have the ball up. Quick rebound there from the Giants. Just couldn't capitalise.
Yeah, they just didn't flood back quick enough.
So Giants really deserve a goal at the moment. Hogan coming through, missed the handball. Good shutdown from Butters. Can't gather it. Angwin seen out of bounds. May have been a couple of high free kicks either way there. Neither was paid though. So 10 points the margin. Nearly into red time in the first quarter. Free kick's been ripped out here. And it's going to be going to Kieran Briggs again. He's manhandling the Port Adelaide ruckman so far. He gives off the handball to Toby Green. He's going to send a low ball. Got touched off the kick. Mead somewhat, for some reason, left it. It ricochets back to him now. And he's going to thump it towards the wing. Marshall's the option. Runs straight into the backside of Kieran Briggs. And I think he's giving away a free kick for a block. I don't know about that. That was a pretty tough... Oh, no, he's got the free kick. I don't know if that's in the back. Can you get it in the back free kick if the player who pushes you in the back falls to the ground? He gets winded off of it. Anyway, so Kieran Briggs will drive it long once again. High ball, looking for Hogan and Brown. Brown went up too early. Oh!
Really? Jeez.
Brown got nowhere near that football. And that wasn't even paid as unrealistic. That's a tough call. So locked up in the Giants forward 50. They've had a lot of territory in this first term. Briggs taps it down. Bedford, good tackle on Butters. Coming through hard as Bergman. Got a handball away to Mead. He's about to get shut down. Got boots of ball only just. Kelly couldn't grab it cleanly. Butters kept it in for the moment. Rosie gets it on the left boot quickly. Bouncing ball. Whitfield, good gather, but turned it over to Butters. He can run off the wing here. Tom Green trying to track him down. Butters did really well. Little back step from Lord was nice. The inside kick was brilliant. On the bounce to Soldo. He can keep going. Wines went to ground at the crucial stage. Got the handball away. McKenzie shut down by Green. And now the Giants want to quickly counter. O'Halloran missed the fist on the handball and Boak. Shut down by Alair of the Giants. Ball up. Well, a little bit of everything in that play. Just that kick inside to Soldo. He probably just had to get on the boot. I know he probably wanted to link up through hands, but don't really know about the ruckman doing that. But from the stoppage now, Kelly runs a nice little arc. Gets it on the boot quickly inside the forward 50. Radicalair didn't read it very well. Goes back hard onto it. Locked up by Hogan. It'll be a stoppage inside the forward 50 again for the Giants. They've had a lot of forward stoppages in this first term.
Yeah, they just haven't had. They're taking their opportunities, and Port Adelaide defence has held up pretty well.
So from the ruck, Briggs is rolling it all day. Tapped it down. They work it through hands nicely. Thomas gives it out to Bedford. Long handball now to Kelly. He's got an option in the pocket. Stepped around him and found his captain in Toby Green. Did really well there, Josh Kelly. He was trying to get onto his left boot. Port Adelaide shut that down really well. So eventually he just put on his right boot. Little 20-metre pop kick. Found Toby Green in the pocket. Now for his sake, hopefully no one touches this footy with a toenail. But he's had a good first quarter, Toby Green. Just hasn't been able to hit the scoreboard just yet. May have been robbed of one. So now Toby Green comes around the body. Should be bread and butter, and he's hooked it too much. They are peppering in this first turn, the Giants. They've got to hit the scoreboard truly. Because you know what happens in these sort of moments. Teams waste their opportunities. The opposition goes down the other end. Makes them pay.
There's surprising you missed that.
Yeah, I thought he was going to nail it. So a short kick here for Port Adelaide goes to Alair. And over the top to Burgoyne. So into red time in the first quarter. Just over 3.5 minutes. Radicalair looking to switch it here. Finds Williams. A little bit surprised he hasn't been in the team more this year, Dylan Williams. Burst onto the scene last year. Remember playing in the his first game against the Sydney Swans. I think it was round 5 last year where they caught back and Sydney got robbed.
Yeah, like they always do.
Yeah. Did well there. Horn Francis to work back onto it. Burgoyne, inside give now. And now Houston can go long with the kick. Out the back is Soldo. Got a fist onto it. Maybe Briggs. He claims it was touched. I thought it was. But Soldo just walks back calmly.
I reckon
got a good
poke back there, Briggs, for him to land back in Soldo's lap.
Nice poker face there from Ivan Soldo. Not giving it away. Oh, it's definitely hit his fist, I would say.
Yeah, it did.
But Soldo will claim it. And a chance here for Port Adelaide to get another goal against the run of play. Oh, that was poor. So Ivan Soldo, 65 games, he's 28 years of age. Took a long time to break onto the scene, but now he's the number 1 at Port Adelaide in the ruck roll, and the kick just leaves it to the left. Well, if Port Adelaide got that one, they'd truly have a decent lead going into quarter time. And they don't really deserve it. I'm going to be... Well, it's not like they don't deserve it, but
they've just taken their opportunities from going forward. I think...
Yeah, exactly. They look more dangerous going forward too. So now Whitfield coming off half-back. Handball over the top to Lee Lear. Burst onto the scene against the Cats a couple of weeks ago. The kick wasn't the greatest pushes he kicked. Butters working hard. Did brilliantly. Got the handball away to Williams, who got locked up by Callahan. Great pressure. Locked him up on the wing. Yeah, slid a little bit high there on Callahan. Wasn't paid, though.
Yeah, Dylan Williams did well there. He just needed to take the contact. There's only 2 minutes left in the quarter there.
So one down there by Briggs. Callahan out the back. Ward sees a little option inside. Nice kick. And now Haynes. Short little ball to Whitfield. Terrible kick. And now Port can counter. Burgoyne, they can link up well here. Finds it to Farrell on his right boot. In fact, it was Houston. It gets out the back. Georgiades can gather. Spin. Great little move onto his left. The unpreferred foot. But that doesn't matter. Great finish from Mitch Georgiades. And Port Adelaide take a 16-point lead. That was great work. Didn't know he had a left boot. That was a brilliant kick.
It's just a terrible kick by Nick Haynes there. He'd normally nail that kick.
I think he was like in between, kicking it long to Angwin or short to Whitfield, and he just went in between them. And great read from Burgoyne too, keeping an eye on the play, because he easily could have just kept his eye on his opponent in Angwin.
Yeah,
but he did really well.
I just think they've got the matchup wrong here for the Giants. Like, I don't think Buckley's the matchup for Georgiades. I think he should be more on Ollie Lord. Yeah, I think they've got the matchup wrong there.
Maybe a quick one changed at quarter time, but in the shadows of quarter time, minute 45 on the clock, Port Adelaide with the only 3 goals despite the Giants dominating the majority of the quarter. They had 11 inside 50s to the Giants to 9 in Port Adelaide's on Port Adelaide's side. Briggs won it down, but Drew fists it forward on the bounce, locked up well, spills out to Horn Francis. Great little tap from Briggs, but missed his teammate. Drew jams it forward. Haynes going back, should have got a free kick, and in fact he did. So maybe a late chance here for the Giants to hit the scoreboard truly. Haynes wants to switch it here to Iden. So in the right back pocket. So now Haynes has the footy in the back pocket as well. So Port Adelaide today can in fact get into the top 2 with a win. So Haynes goes long with the kick, leading up his Riccardi. Didn't get anywhere near that footy. Probably may have been a free kick. Play on. Ward trying to get it out of there. Farrell, it spills out. Now the Giants can go. Callahan gives it over to Bedford. And now Toby Green trying to shrug off. Great work from Houston. Didn't let him go. Runs him out of bounds and got a bit lucky there, Toby Green. Saw a few of them last night that players were pinned holding the ball, then were taken out of bounds. But because they were taken out of bounds, they technically weren't pinned holding the ball. Anyway, so tap down from Briggs. Comes off the hand of Daniels. Green handball forward. That's Tom, but missed the give. Farrell, inside to Mead. They couldn't get another one, could they? Inside give from Boat. Missed it. O'Halloran threw it away. Play on. Callahan over the top now to Daniels, who's about to get shut down. Got a kick away. High ball. Hogan out the back. Got beaten by his teammate. Callum Brown got in his way. And it's rushed through for a behind. 11 years of media scrutiny, you've done it tough. Oh, that was a shit banner. I'm sorry, but they've got to do better than that. Come on, Giants. That made no... I don't really get it. Port Adelaide faced a lot of screw... I don't get it. Anyway, doesn't really matter. So late stages now. Port Adelaide could get a late chance, but Boak just tapped it over the line. So 9 seconds to go. Giants have not kicked a goal, even though they may have been robbed of one. And right now, they're down by 15 points. So Port Adelaide haven't had a lot of dominance, but they've done well to lead by 15.
Well, they've only had like 10 inside 50s, but they've had 6 scoring opportunities from it.
Soldo was held without it. He threw a boot at it. Bouncing ball into the middle of the ground. Horn Francis went up. But the siren sounds for quarter time. And Port Adelaide, both teams having the same amount of scoring shots. Port Adelaide kicked truly with the 3 goals, 3. They lead it by 15 points. So 21 Port Adelaide and the 6 behinds to the Giants going into the first change. So a good start here from Port. Giants should be close, I would almost say I don't know if I'd say in front, but they should be doing a lot better than what they are at the moment.
They should at least have 2 goals on the board, I reckon.
Yeah, at least.
So, we'll get to the stats. So we'll go with the fantasy scorers. So the leaders of fantasy, 44 to Kieran Briggs. Lockie Whitfield is on 35. Jesse Hogan's on 31. Nick Haynes on 30. And Jace Burgoyne is on 30 as well, with Mitch Georgiadis. Obviously, Mitch Georgiadis with the 2 goals.
Well, I think Mitch Georgiadis and Kieran Briggs have been the best on the ground for either side so far. I'd probably say.
Yeah, so the leading disposal getters. So we've got 8 to Burgoyne, Farrell, Houston, and Wines. And then the next 3 are the Giants players with 7, with Callahan, Green, Toby Green, and Whitfield, all on 7 disposals.
I might as well give my votes here actually now. In the game today, I've given the 3 votes to Nick Dacos, 2 votes to George Wardlaw, and the 1 vote to David Uniacke. I think that's where I'm going to go. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, I think the screw up that they did in that game is that they subbed out
Will Phillips.
Like, he was the one tagging him all day.
Yeah, but he stopped at half time when he went half forward, but that probably cost them in the end too. Weird decision. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna lose anyway.
Me?
Yeah.
What's he on?
Well, he's on 11.
What's he got in this game?
Well, I don't know. It hasn't updated online, but does it because he's got Shardmaker as a 70.
Oh, what?
You forgot he had that, did you?
It didn't show up on my fucking thing.
Yeah, because it's the last thing of the game. Because it hasn't updated. Well, it's updated because it's the last game. So you lost easily.
Stupid AFL fantasy fucking shit. It's bloody garbage. How you doing, chick? What are you up to this afternoon? Who are you barracking for? I should have changed the quarter. So nearly second term underway, guys. Jesus Christ. So yeah, second quarter about to get underway. I think like teams moving back into their position now, guys.
Oh, let's look at the tipping as well.
Yeah, I tipped the Giants. Not off to a great start, but
so me and Harvey tipped Port Adelaide with Lena. There's the people in front of me. So if I get that tip, I'll move in front of you.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I'll move in front of you on margin.
So players moving back to their position now for the second term. Zach Butters is tagged in the first term, but he did really well with it, I believe. Didn't have a massive quarter, but other than giving away that little bit dumb free kick against to Tom Green, sorry. I think he's done pretty well with the tag. He's fought hard to try and get the footy. And look, he may not have a 30-touch, 3-goal game today, but as long as he can play his role, he'll go a long way into winning this one. So Port Adelaide go into the second term with a 15-point lead. Umpire ready to bounce it. How about you hurry up, bro, and stop taking your moment on the camera. Jesus Christ. So thumbs it down, here we go. Soldo wins the tap, Butters, up against Bedford. Soldo kicked it, almost hit McEntee in the head. He gathered it well, kicked a high ball to the top of the goal square, but did well there, Taylor.
Yeah,
read it well.
Took front position.
So now they can rebound. Terrible handball to Iden, put him under all sorts of pressure. And his handball missed Buckley. Just a little bit off at the moment here, the Giants.
They're trying to do fast football, but you don't really want to do that at fullback.
Especially with, look, Iden and Buckley. They're not bad players by any stretch of the imagination, but not really a run-with players here. So locked inside Port Adelaide's forward 50 here. So Briggs has dominated the ruck so far. Won it down towards Butters. Got a handball away. Drew overran it. Kelly out the back. Bedford. Himmelberg. Now Ward did well, but then the handball to Himmelberg, he let it go, and then Burne-Jones was held. So Port Adelaide will get a free kick here, an opportunity to get their 4th goal. So Callan Ward just held on too long, probably tried to do a little bit too much. He gave the handball to Himmelberg, who dropped it, then he realised he had to go back and fight for it, and then he just held on a little bit too long. So Darcy Burne-Jones was the hero about 3 or 4 weeks ago against Hawthorn. He's been reinvented as a forward after becoming an All-Australian as a back pocket. He's been that dangerous small forward, the pressure forward they've desperately needed, DBJ. He comes in now from 40 and he's hooked it to the left. A lot of ball going to the left-hand side of the goal on that side of the ground so far.
Port Adelaide have started well in this quarter with the midfield. We've got the first 2 clearances, so that's where they needed to tighten up from the first quarter.
Yeah, I think the rucks definitely need to play better as well.
Yeah.
So now Whitfield drives a long ball towards the interchange wing. Great little pick up there from Horne-Francis, Boak, Farrell. They're working backwards here, Port Adelaide, but great turn from Butters. You can't shut down true quality, but Lear did pretty well. Radiclear couldn't gather a Lear, just got the handball away, and now Kelly has a plethora of options. He gives it off to Halloran. Now Daniels, he's got an option right over the top. Handball to Brown, short little kick. They may have messed this up. Cadman has his time, snaps and messes it up. Oh, that's truly embarrassing from the Giants. They had to score. I don't know why they didn't go long there. I mean, I know Callum Brown had a handball option, but you just got to go long to the goal square.
Yeah, like it's just,
Cadman was all on his own.
Yeah, like Brown just it was a shithouse kick towards Cadman.
It was
like,
decent.
Should have nailed it.
It was decent defense from Port Adelaide. I don't know who it was, but he didn't give away his hand. He didn't go back or go forward. He stood in the middle, which made the attacker make his decision. But then when Brown got it, he was under pressure because the handball was too slow. But anyway, intercept mark here from Jack Buckley on centre wing out of side. So he goes out wide here for Ward on the lead. Had a pretty good start to this one. So now Ward, setting up for the long ball. In fact, goes in short to Buckley. Inside handball, they work it okay. Iden now has Taylor with a long handball. And he's going to just set it up. Top of the goal square sort of stuff. High ball and Lear got a fist to it. A long 20-metre one. Danny Frawley would have liked that one. Now Horn Francis, handball over the top. Butters got wrapped up by Bedford. He got a kick away somehow, but the ball up was called by the umpire.
Bit of push and shove.
Bit of push and shove, love to see it. A little bit of argy-bargy. So now Briggs taps it across. Houston dropped it. Play on. Oh, a bit unlucky there. Green gives it out to Ward. Back to Tom Green. He gets on his left boot. High up and under. Just inside 50 for Hogan. Bergman got a fist to it. Daniels, good read. Handball out to Kelly. Pressure from Burgoyne. Now Houston, great pickup. Gets the kick away. Just over the top there of Tom Green. Ricochets off of Darcy Byrne-Jones. And eventually, we'll get it out of bounds.
I don't know how you don't pay that as hold the ball there against Houston.
Yeah, at least
he dropped the ball.
He dropped the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
With a new interpretation, that's got to be paid. So back in the ruck, Soldo won it down. Butters coming through hard, got a handball through nicely, threaded the needle. Now Houston, and now Horn Francis can go on the wing. He gives off the handball to Mead. Drew jammed it on the boot, was under pressure. Bouncing ball, going in hard. There was Marshall, so did Whitfield. Now Taylor got a handball away. Boat shut down in the back, surely. Wasn't paid. Don't know how the umpire didn't see it. Now Toby Green handball on the bounce to Bedford. He shrugged the tackle, and now Iden works the kick out wide. Good kick in the end. He can go Briggs. Over the top to Daniels. Got a few options. And now little dog kick over the top. What a terrible kick. Bergman looking for the 1-2. Stole it out of his grasp there, Houston. And he switches it to Boak. Oh my God, that was a terrible kick. He had two options. And he picked the Port Adelaide player in between them.
Yeah, just no composure inside 450 for the Giants.
How you doing, Mark? Or Travis? So Radicale has it in the back pocket. Holy shit. Fucking hell. Oh, the switch kick's dreadful! And an absolute gift to Callum Brown.
Wow.
That is a dreadful kick from Radicale. Well, I guess it goes both ways. The Giants have butchered it going inside the forward 50 early in the second term. But now they have an absolute gift. Callum Brown basically straight in front, 20 metres out, 15 even. And a chance here for finally the Giants to get their first goal.
Absolutely terrible cross goal.
So Callum Brown had a massive game in opening round. Kind of tapered off a little. Well, he made the umpire work, but he gets it home. So Giants finally get their first goal of the game. Holy crap, he almost missed that one too.
Yeah, just need. I don't know. That was just terrible by Radicale that. But to be honest, that was the only way that we're going to score was from the.
Yeah, because they weren't doing it themselves. What's the kick here? He's
trying to hit Farrell, but it's...
Yeah, but what is it? I mean, even if he hits Farrell there, what's that going to do? It's a dreadful kick.
Yeah.
It's not even like Callum Brown had to fucking read that. That was just a dreadful kick. Maybe they can get them started though here, the Giants.
And somehow with all their dominance, well, if you want to, with all the scoreboard pressure they had, they're only down by 9 points. They really, yeah.
So back in the middle we go. Soldo gets a fist to it. Bouncing ball here for Ward. He couldn't get there, Bedford. Now Ward gathers. Callahan, Riccardi. They're working backwards, but they want to switch it now towards Angwin, who takes the mark. He wants to go. A little bit jittery. Gets a little kick. Oh, what a dreadful kick. 4-on-1. He's going to get lucky to get the ball back here. Fighting hard as Tom Green. Inside give. They get away with it here, the Giants. Callahan now. Lee Lear. Low ball. Good kick in the end to Callum Brown. Working himself into it. This has been their big problem, though. Their kick inside 50. He works it over the top, and I guess that will work. Angwin. Tucked up basically where the 50 meets the boundary line. So maybe, I don't think he's got the distance in him here, Angwin. He's going to have to go long. He's going to have to go with a big kick, though. So now Angwin, he's going to set up to the top of the goal square. He's got Hogan with a big run up. He gets fisted away. Lands straight to Callum Brown, who stepped through truly. And he's got 2 in a minute, Callum Brown.
That was just... Every Port defender was in that contest. And once it hit the ground, it was done, really.
And unforgivable to let this guy, to let Callum Brown step through 2 here. He steps through Rosie and Zerk Thatcher as well. That's unforgivable in the back 30 metres. I think it's Zerk Thatcher.
Well, no one even looked at bloody Callum Brown there. And that's just terrible after he just recently just kicked the previous goal with 2 minutes ago. Like, yeah, that's just...
May not be the big name, Callum Brown, but he definitely plays a role for them. He's only got the only 2 goals of this game for the Giants in the last minute. So here we go, back in the middle once again. One down by Lord, both the reserve ruckman in now, but now Wines gets a true clearance. Inside the forward 50, Georgiades couldn't mark Haynes, tapped it towards Iden, he did really well. And now he can switch it towards Angwin, in fact, nearly marked it, but did well to bring it to ground. Oh, Lear, great composure, gave off the handball. And now Himmelberg steps out of trouble, the Giants really working into it now. Taylor takes a bounce. I don't know if he's on the no bounce team right now, but it definitely looked like he was looking for the bounce. Anyway, Alir goes high towards the teeth of the 50. Great mark there from Radikalir. No, it's Alir. Great mark.
Just need to take a few minutes here, Port Adelaide. But, yeah, the Giants have pressed.
They're pressing in this second term. He goes long towards the wing. Lord went up, didn't get hands to it. Aaliyah leaks up here with Riccardi, working out the back. Oh, interesting kick. It may work. Ward was held without it. Very lucky there, the Giants. Some of their kicking in this first half has been woeful. Haven't really been made to pay too much, though. The kick over the top was nice from Ward. Hits up Himmelberg. He's got Hogan leading into a little pocket of space and dives down, takes a good mark. Just getting a little bit of space in this second term here, the Giants. Hogan looking for the handball, but I think he's just going to settle now.
Well, from the first quarter, he didn't make this distance. He was about a metre or 2 short. So it'll be interesting. He might be able to still get this from the momentum he gets from it.
So he's going to set it up into the pocket, in fact. What a terrible kick. He's turned it over, so Burgoyne takes the mark. He goes inside now to Houston. He wants to switch the play. Usually their quarterback. He switches it now to Boak at halfback. So they haven't really moved much forward here, Port Adelaide. They just can't really move the game forward at the moment. Houston, inside kick was dangerous, but Horne-Francis takes the mark. So a little bit stagnant, Port Adelaide, in this second term. So Houston look as Horne-Francis going towards the outer wing here. Evans couldn't mark. Wine stepped over one, did well. Now Boak trying to look for an option. Stepped out of a tackle. Did really well to get a handball away. Towards the space. Soldo can run. Lord, in fact, got pushed in the back a little. Thomas. Out to Callahan. Rosie held him for only a split second. Now O'Halloran got worried out of it by Horne-Francis, but Thomas did well to keep it in front of him. Boak wrapped up. And the umpire will call for it once again.
It's perfect conditions, so I don't know why this has been such... This
quarter
has been a lot of fumbles and a lot of terrible kicking.
Yeah. Tap down from Riccardi. Bounces now for Horne-Francis. Good little give. Houston, the inside out kick was brilliant. Really smart. Boak wants to go. He's got an option in the pocket. Aaliyah read it pretty well. Got a fist to it. Didn't destroy it though. Wines back to Marshall, who goes with the pop kick. High ball. Free kick's been ripped out. And it's going to be going to...
Leek Aaliyah. I think it was a throw from Wines.
So it's a throw against Ollie Wines, it looks like. So Leek Aaliyah will get the free kick. Yeah, good call from the umpire. That was definitely not a handball. So now Iden has some time, gives it off to Haynes. He's got a couple of options. Just going to have to blast it long, though. Getting across there is Zerk Thatcher. Good work from Cadman. Brought it to ground. Thomas links up with Kelly, who can take a couple of bounces on the outer wing. Can use his foot speed. Goes long. Out the back, Riccardi overran it, though. Houston locked up. It'll be a ball up.
Mm.
Riccardi just went a little bit too far forward there. He just had to hold back a little bit and he would have taken an easy mark. So 25 out here from the Giants goal. Briggs brings it down brilliantly and Toby Green just misses.
He's getting into this game, Toby Green, and if they're not careful at Port Adelaide, he could have a real field day.
2 goals, 8 for the Giants.
Yeah, they're just lucky, Port Adelaide, that the Giants haven't taken their opportunities.
So Williams will take the kick in here. Goes with a wide ball. 1-on-1 here is Georgiades. He took the mark. He's looking their most dangerous at the moment. So Jack Buckley's still matched up against him. Hasn't had a lot to do in this second term, though. But Georgiades going to send it long towards the Telstra logo at 50. Coming across as Briggs. Didn't take the mark, but the Giants have the numbers out the back here. Haynes. The kick was not the best, but they have the numbers here. Thomas, that's a throw. Yeah. Definitely. He almost played that perfectly, but he just held it on a bit long. So Alirali will go in short. Just outside 50 is Marshall. Maybe be able to make the distance from here.
You might just have 30 seconds and just compose because they've just been dominated the last 10 minutes, Port Adelaide.
So Todd Marshall. He's already kicked a goal this afternoon. Kicked it from a pretty impossible angle. He's not looking too confident. He's going to set it up here for Juan Francis. Just got a spoil in there, Haynes. That would have been pretty embarrassing if he marked that. Now Kelly, back handball, missed his teammate, but Haynes working back onto it. Got a kick away. Good pressure from Port Adelaide, but the Giants up to it. Inside give now to Callahan. He's got an option over the top. They can link up Bedford. They got the overlap. Cadman. They get shut down. Brilliant, Houston. Brilliant. Had to hit that tackle. They had the overlap. Houston shut it down.
I think he's been one of the best for Port Adelaide today.
Yeah, I think he's been up there so far. So the kick inside now to McEntee.
They've got to be able to switch this Port Adelaide. They're just going down straight lines.
So he goes inside now to Farrell. They're looking for that switch play now. Kick inside to Williams. That's a good kick. Probably can't bomb long here. Taylor and Buckley would be set up. He's trying to look for it, but I think now he's just going to have to go. He sends it towards the 50. Going hard was Ollie Lord. Got a fist to it there, Aaliyah. Trying to shrug onto it. Now Boak rides him a little. And I think he's going to be pinned here. Oh, he is.
I don't know. I think Boak more pushed that into him then.
I think it was because he didn't make an attempt.
Yeah.
So against the Leak Aaliyah there for holding the ball. So Travis Boak will have it. Oh, he just got shoved on top of it. Yeah, I think it's because he didn't make an attempt. Terrible kick, though. And Ollie Wines met hard. That could be in trouble here. We'll have to get a replay of that one, but Ollie Wines gets up sore. I don't think that's not suspension. They both went down for the ball.
Nah.
Just a free kick in the end. I think that's fair enough. Yeah, they both go the ball. If anything, Lee Kalia goes the ball more, if I'm being honest with you. So, just a free kick here for Ollie Wines. Nothing more to see there. He'll set it up. High ball. Ollie Lord's there. Oh, but Georgiades trying to take the mark of the year away from Bilby Hill today. So now they link up here, the Giants. Brown, feign the give, did really well. Football smarts from the Irishman. Works it now to Toby Green on the wing. Great play there from Zirk Thatcher. Read the handball, but they still get away with it here. Handball over the top to Angwin. Spun, got a handball away. Got a bit lucky to Bedford. And now O'Halloran has a plethora of options. He goes long, hits it to Cadman. He deserves a goal, and he gets one. The Giants take the lead for the first time.
It was just about who was going to get that big moment there, and the Giants got it. And to be honest, they deserve to be in front of the Giants. The Power just have been dominated at the moment.
That would have been muck of the year.
Yeah.
He would have just stolen it from Bobby Hill if he took that.
It was just this moment here on centre wing that...
Zirk Thatcher did this really well, but then unfortunately, the Giants got really lucky here. All these pop handballs, just blind handballs to the voice. They did really well here. And then O'Halloran made the correct decision there. He could have gone... He had 4 options, and he chose the right one in the goal square. They haven't been doing that so far in this game. So that was probably the first time they've entered inside 50 with a great kick. And Aaron Cadman kicks the goal. So we're back in the middle. Port Adelaide really need a lift at the moment. The Port Adelaide kicked the first 3 of the game. The Giants have kicked the last 3. Horne-Francis trying to change that momentum. He got stripped, so he's going to get the free kick here.
Oh, he's lucky there,
Horne-Francis, yeah,
he's very lucky.
Tried to shrug off the world. He got very lucky there that he got legged. So now Horne-Francis wants to run and kick it long. He's going to go towards the 50 on the lead. It's a good option in the end. He gives it off. And now setting up for the long ball, Kane Farrell. He's known for these types of moments. It goes long. I think it's bounced home. No, it was touched. Oh, big call. I think it was.
It was. I don't think it was. It may have actually been Ollie Lord, even though he claimed he didn't.
So now Ward goes back to Whitfield. So 3 points the margin. It's been a game of momentum so far. Whitfield short kick now to Haynes.
There's just not a lot of pressure on Port Adelaide at the moment. There's just so many uncontested possessions and marks that the Giants are taking at the moment.
Goes long with the kick. Brought to ground now. Angwin, good gather. Got shut down. Maybe in a high one against Horne-Francis. Wasn't paid. I think what the big thing is as well, though, is the Giants are starting to use the ball a bit better.
Yeah.
I think in the first quarter when they were butchering it, it was a lot easier for Port Adelaide to pressure it up. So from a tap down, Rosie got intercepted nicely, but it ricochets to Zerk Thatcher. They can go now, Port. Houston wants to work it out wide with the kick. Looking for McEntee on the bounce. He gathered it well. Can he get it inside the forward 50? Whitfield put on the pressure.
Oh.
Lord got his hands to it, then dropped the marks. Taylor out the back now for Haynes. He can use it pretty well. It's a dangerous kick, but it's a really good option. And now Himmelberg can just run away, take a nice little leisurely stroll on the Sunday evening. Goes long down the wing. Cadman, push down, play on. Radicalier, the inside kick, weird, but it may work. They're working backwards here, Port Adelaide. Farrell goes outside the kick. What a weird option, and Briggs cuts it off. Usually a good kick, Kane Farrell, but that was just weird.
He was not. He wanted to hit Briggs there.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? The inside gift to Callahan was really hot. A little bit of a hammer with the stain there from Briggs. He just gets it on the boot. Williams gets a fist to it. But now Kelly goes with the kick. Not a very good option. So not getting it perfect at the moment, the Giants, but they do have the lead. Farrell in short. Houston betraying his options now. Just hitting red time in this second term. Giants have got the only 3 goals of it. So now Rosie. Got to give him some time to work back into the AFL speed. But we know he's a star. Short ball now to Williams. Who's working this up calmly at Port. Now is Willem Drew. No danger involved. They're already in the centre of the ground. He wants to thump it long. In front. Gets at the back. Soldo can gather. Got wrapped up by Whitfield. And it'll be a stoppage. Just unlucky there. The Rovers for Port Adelaide, I think, were Lord and Soldo.
Yeah, not really what you want.
Yeah, you'd rather McEntee or Burn Jones, but you got the 2 big guys. Brought down by Riccardi, immediately wrapped up there was Georgiades. It'll be a ball up. Just seemed like everyone gave up on that. They just said, give it back to the umpire, we'll do it again. Soldo tapped it out. Done well there. Georgiades got a hand free. Rosie tried to get boot to ball, got smothered. Kelly goes in hard. He's going to have to get rid of it. Did okay. Ward locked up. And another stoppage. Port Adelaide, I think, need a goal going into half-time right now, just to wrestle back some of the momentum. Soldo taps straight down to Drew. Got quickly boot to ball, smothered though. Now Butters threw a boot at it. Goes up and under. Neither could gather. McEntee out the back did well. Marshall got a pretty big kick onto it, but it's going wide and out on the full. Did they go out
that was out on the full by a mile.
Wasn't it? Oh, maybe it wasn't. I thought for sure it was out in the full. It must have been a point because they were pretty confident on it. We just didn't have a good angle of it. That looked out in the full to me, but anyway. So it's a behind from Marshall. So it's just knocked out of bounds there. Just outside the forward 50 here for Port Adelaide. 3.5 minutes in the first half to go. I think I've got to give credit to Jack Buckley. He's done well in the second term after Georgiades looked to tear this game apart in the first quarter.
Yeah.
The Giants have really lifted. If they could just improve their disposal, I think they'd be a lot further in front right now. Kelly gets the kick away. Ward try to duck out of it. Good tackle there from Connor Rosie. Wasn't letting him go. Oh, I think it could have been rewarded there. But ball up will be called. Connor Rosie just get a little chat back there on Callan Ward. So So out of side now the ball is. Soldo takes it out of the ruck. Needs to do more of it. Gets the clearance. High ball inside 50. In front there was Iden, but it bounces now for Wines. Got a handball away to Georgiades. Out wide. Trying to duck out of trouble there. Was McEntee. Play on. There'll be a ball up. So just inside the forward 50 again for Port Adelaide. They're finally having a little bit of territory. Giants just continue to strong-arm Port Adelaide in these stoppages. Soldo did well. Butters gets boots a ball. Long ball towards goal. He gets the bounce into the post. That would have been big going into half-time for Zach Butters. Big opportunity goes begging. That look home. So Port Adelaide's starting to pepper a little bit now. They've kicked, I think, 4 points in a row. So now Whitfield goes wide with the kick looking for Brown. He's growing in confidence. He's got a kick in Himmelberg inside. I don't know if he's going to go there. He may. Oh, it's a danger. That's a good kick. Have to lock that down there, Port Adelaide. Himmelberg wants to switch it. The big switch. Now Haynes. Oh. Good spoil. I think that was probably pretty professional there from Georgiades, if I'm being honest. Because if you mark that, they were away. So Haynes will have the free kick here on the wing, just outside the centre square. 2:22 on the clock. So he's going to set it up here, Nick Haynes. Just inside the forward 50. Toby Green's found a little bit of space. In fact, it was Daniels. Couldn't mark. Houston locked him up. He's had a good first half. Got a handball away. Thomas. Now Buckley. Short little kick inside. McEntee going back. Couldn't get a mark onto it. Did well to bring it to ground, though. Drew against the grain. Did brilliantly. Soldo. Evans. Links up okay. Mead. They're doing okay. Farrell. Aaliyah. He's just going to clear it wide. Towards... A Lord, in fact, couldn't mark. Going in hard there was McEntee. That was brilliant. Boak. And now Ollie Lord. Hasn't had many touches so far. Kick out wide on the bounce to Burn Jones. Trying to get into his move. Went to ground, though. Iden. McEntee got a high one. Slammed into the turf. And it'll be a ball up. That was tough there from McEntee. Had to go in hard there to get that footy. That's why he's in the side. One down there. Soldo trying to get kick away. Immediately wrapped up by Taylor. Threw a hand at it to interrupt Callahan. Boak did okay. Drew immediately tackled. And now Kelly gives it out to Angwin. They can maybe get one last roll of the dice here. The Giants going into halftime. Iden runs into the centre square with a bounce. Wide ball for Riccardi who can mark. Centre wing on the outer side. He just takes his time. They've still got a minute here, the Giants, to work with. So now Riccardi drives a long ball. Callum Brown is there, so is Hogan. Coming across brilliantly with Zirk Thatcher. Oh, and then weirdly played on. Don't know about that, and he's gone.
Oh, is he doing?
Zirk Thatcher, delusions of grandeur, as Dennis Committee would say. I don't know what he was thinking. That was 100% play on.
He definitely took a step too. I don't know what he's trying to do.
He went to step. I think he was like, I'm away here, but immediately after one step was touched, you'll see it. He'll get touched here. No, I don't know what he's doing. That was stupid. I thought for a minute he stopped because Bedford touched him, but he just stopped for no reason. I think he went to go thinking that he was had an option, but he didn't.
No, that's especially with 30 seconds, a minute
just
left
hold
in the
it.
game in the quarter. Like that's just ludicrous.
So Harvey Thomas, big opportunity to take a 7-point lead into halftime. The baby-faced assassin kicks a big goal. Aaliyah thinks it's touched.
Farrell doesn't really think it was either. It doesn't think it was.
So they take a 7-point lead here. The Giants just got it there. Harvey Thomas didn't want to put all of it into it. He was like, I'll just do enough to get it over the line. Brendan Zirk Thatcher, a moment to forget.
He's actually played well today.
Yeah, I know. He's one of his better games to Port Adelaide.
One of the worst moments of the timing to do it.
So he doesn't hit. Stop. No. And then he goes, I've stopped. No.
He should just fall on the ground. That's what he should have done. Just fall on the ground. I don't know what he's doing. And it's just cost a goal.
So 2 seconds to go. This will be the halftime scoreline, except that for something crazy. Yeah, the Giants have lifted in the pressure in the second term. And now halftime siren will sound. The Giants really responded in the second term, kicked the only 4 goals of it. They were goalless at quarter time. And now they take a 7-point lead going into the main break. The Giants, 4-8-32 to Port Adelaide, 3-7-25. All right, guys, we'll be back in about 20 minutes or so with the second half. All right, the mic is on. Good. G'day guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Boundary Riders podcast, episode 67. A few things to talk about today. We have the injuries, of course, we'll have an update on the Christian Petrarca situation. Also want to take a look at a deeper dive at the West Coast Eagles and where they're at the moment. Some interesting news regarding maybe a 3-way grand final series, if that would ever be a situation in the AFL. Of course, our fan favourite segments in the Flog of the Week, doing our tips and the fantasy breakdown as well. So let's roll the intro, guys, and get straight into it. And then Rankin from the pocket, don't tell me, Isaac Rankin!
Yeah.
He's just got the license for a brothel.
Well, I think Gather Round's going to be more than just AFL. I think this is next season.
It's at the handle at the back. Nick Dacos to get the pies home. He's done it! So guys, as always, let's start with a couple of news-breaking parts of the episode, and we'll start with a couple of injury concerns. One was Alex Keith for the Western Bulldogs. He's going to be sidelined for the next 6 weeks. That's really unfortunate, as he did a hamstring strain in the loss against the Brisbane Lions. But it does seem for Western Bulldogs fans that Ed Richards has been cleared of his concussion protocols and should be ready to go for Saturday's game against the Dockers. But of course, let's talk about Christian Petrarca. So, early reports were that Petrarca was suffering a serious injury to his ribs. It seemed that he suffered 4 broken ribs and a lacerated spleen, along with a small puncture to his lung, and underwent surgery on Monday evening and was remaining in hospital at that time. Now, there have been reports around potentially he'll be out for 6 weeks. There's also reports from Tom Morris, which, take with a grain of salt, but he could potentially miss the rest of the season. Now, at the moment, the Demons are sitting in 10th spot, so I would say if they're up in a finals race and if he's okay to go, then they'll probably risk it and try and give him the last month of the season or something. But sitting as it is right now, it's round 14 coming up now, at least 6 weeks at the minimum. We'd get into, round 20. So, let's say it is a minimum. If there's 4 weeks to go and there's no chance of them making finals, or very minimal chance of making finals, I wouldn't be surprised if they just say, let's just end it. But, yeah, if there's 4 or 5 weeks to go, he seems like he's okay to go, then I think they'll probably risk it. But that's really terrible news for Melbourne and, Christian Petrarca. That's really devastating news, because he's been by far their best player this year. Or their best midfielder. I mean, you probably say the likes of Stephen May and Max Gawn have been their better players, but he's definitely been top 3. I don't think that's a question mark or whatever. It's basically a lot of the injury news stuff. People may realise as well this is coming out a little bit later, being a Thursday. I'm recording this on Wednesday night, so give me a little bit of love. It's 8 o'clock here, so this will be coming out Thursday morning. Give me a lot of love, guys. Usually we record these on Monday afternoon, but because of the footy this week, and I've had a lot of things going on, just got a new dog as well, so that's just a lot of things going on at the moment, and we should be getting back into the groove of things next week. If my also, because the games are on Friday night, we're probably pushing everything back a day. For example, we may keep the same days for the video essays that we're trying to drop every fortnight, but with the podcast and the tips coming out, we may push them back a day, especially if I can get my brother to come around and do the podcast. That would probably be a good idea as well. So I'm a little bit unsure how long this episode's going to go for, just because, I'm trying to get this out a little bit quicker, and it's bloody late. Give me a break. And there's not a lot of news topics to talk about this week because, injuries and suspensions and stuff, because that's all gone now. So, I mean, it's almost time for the teams to come out, so we may just wait and see how that goes. But the one thing I did want to talk about today is the West Coast Eagles, because I think they're in a very interesting spot right now. So, of course, Harley Reid has been a massive factor in the resurgence of the West Coast Eagles. I don't think that's a denying factor. I kind of wasn't on board with it at the start of the season, and probably even after their first win. But after seeing them play over about a month period, when Harley Reid really hit his form, I started to believe the real factor that he is bringing to the club. And I think it was shown massively in the North Melbourne loss. The fact that they, for 3 quarters, even the 3 and a bit quarters, looked pretty crap, let's be honest. They did have 2 goals, 15 on the scoreboard, so you can make a point of they had the scoring shots, they just couldn't convert.
But around the ground, they were getting smashed in the midfield. They were getting smashed around the ground. The tackle pressure wasn't there. And it's kind of like brought up a question of if West Coast are where they're kind of at right now. So currently, obviously, they're sitting 16th spot. And the next 5 games, they have the bye this week. After that, they've got the Bombers, Hawthorn, Melbourne, Brisbane, and St Kilda. Now, they've got Hawthorn and Brisbane at home. Hawthorn, interesting game. Hawthorn are in really good form. We'll see how they go after, because I think Hawthorn have the last bye. So we'll have to see how they go after their bye, Hawthorn, if they come off sluggish or whatever. But they play Melbourne away. You would expect them to probably lose that, as well as Essendon away. Then Brisbane and Brisbane at home, which is a very interesting one because it's in Perth. Don't really travel the best, Brisbane, especially to Perth. I know they've been beat by Fremantle a few times over the past few years. And then they've got St Kilda after that. Now, obviously, finals aren't an option here. They're not really a factor. So where can West Coast kind of finish up? Now, they've got the Crows in front of them in 15th and St Kilda in front of them as well. So potentially that game in 6 weeks against St Kilda could be a game that defies where they finish on the ladder. I don't see the Crows finishing in 15th spot. I feel like they'll just rebound after in the second half of the season, potentially finish around that, let's say 13th to 10, I would say, where the Crows are going to finish. St Kilda, on the other hand, could be very well down in the bottom 4. So that's something that I can kind of see happening. So maybe West Coast, best case scenario, they finishes around 15th, 14th, which means they probably will have, I don't really know draft picks and that, but you would say at that point they'd be getting at least pick 4. I think looking at the West Coast list right now, there's a lot of top-end veteran players, and then there's a lot of younger players, but there's nothing in between. There's no depth players at all at the West Coast Eagles. Like, just looking at it, looking at their waffle team last week, their best players were True, Dower, Rotham, Livingston. Brockman was okay in the game, and that's basically about it. There weren't a lot of other really good contributors last week. Now, granted, of course, I'm not looking at a huge sample size here, but the one thing that West Coast have had this year that they haven't had for, 2 years now is a healthy injury list. Not having a big injury list. Like on the injury list right now, West Coast have Oscar Allen, who's 1 week away, Bazzo, who's 2 to 4 weeks away, Liam Duggan, who'll be back next week, Elijah Hewitt, which is 4 to 6 weeks, but I'm kind of thinking he'll be out for the rest of the year, Jaden Hunt, who's back next week, and then Noah Long, who's the only one now who's ruled out for the rest of the season. So, out of those on the list, Oscar Allen, obviously, he comes back. Obviously. Elijah Hewitt, yeah, you'd say he makes their best 22. So does Jaden Hunt, and so does Liam Duggan. Rhett Bazzo, he's kind of on the cusp. Noah Long obviously can't make it for the rest of the year, but he would be in their best team. So looking at it right now, there's a couple of players there that you would say are in their best team. So if you look at it, Oscar Allen would take over Jack Darling. And you would think at the end of the year he would retire. That's pretty fair to say. Then Duggan, obviously in the team. But Hewitt, you'd probably say he's in the team, but you'd say he's kind of a bench player right now. Jaden Hunt probably takes that half-back role. So there's really only 2 or 3 players there that are jumping into your best team right now. So West Coast are very lucky at this point that they are in a point where they have a pretty healthy list, which they haven't had for a while now. So looking at their depth, they don't have a lot. And I think it's pretty fair to say. True, Dower, Rotham. Like Rotham's been in and out of the team. True played his first game a couple of weeks ago. Is it Dower or Doer? Whatever it is. He's played a couple of games this year. But other than that, there's not a lot there to really bounce off of. So I truly think that West Coast have to look at the draft for the next year or two. I know there's been a lot of talk about Elliot Yeo potentially leaving. If a team is willing to give up a lot, I honestly wouldn't be that opposed to it if I'm the West Coast Eagles, because the one thing that I would be opposed to, though, is if Harley Reid is a big saying of, we want you at the club. If Harley Reid thinks he can do it with Tim Kelly there, helping him around, then maybe you try to keep him there for an extra couple of years. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be handcuffing Elliot Yeo to stay at the club, because right now, West Coast aren't in a position to be making finals. I think that's a pretty fair statement to say. So I think that they really need to go heavy on the draft the next year or two, the West Coast Eagles. And the next two, even 2 or 3, and try and build through that depth. And maybe even look at some recyclable players around the league that, potentially from WA or potentially just aren't getting a game at their club, and then building through that structure. Because right now, West Coast have got a very good spine, I would say that. They've got, Allen, Waterman for their forwards, Barras, McGovern for their backs, and then, you got your midfield pretty comfortable there, and then their ruckman and Matt Flynn. Didn't have a very good game last week, but you would say he's a definite mainstay for their ruck. But their outer side and their runners, there's not a huge amount of them. Like, can you really trust Witherden as a half-backer? You don't really know. Liam Duggan is good, but I think he could potentially run through the midfield. But there's a lot of players that, they're depth players. There's not a lot of them. So right now, they're basically playing on the brink of, if they had 3 or 4 injuries in a couple of weeks, they would struggle to fill a good team. And, as we saw, obviously Harley Reid is a lot better than the majority of the depth players that you would expect for any club, really. So when Harley Reid was gone, there was a huge gap left in that team, even just as an energizer, really. If you just put it as that lower point. So right now, I think that the Harley Reid factor is massive, but I do think they have to find other ways to be energised to play a game of football, other than him pushing off three opponents kicking a goal. They've got to find more hype around a game rather than just him doing that. So they have to find something more, but they do need to rebuild their depth. They do need to build their depth, because I think this year Harley Reid has covered over a lot of cracks that we saw last year. They didn't really fill, I would say. They didn't really go to the draft per se, pushing hard for it, other than getting Harley Reid, of course. And I'm not going to sit here and sound like Sam McClure and say, they should have traded away Harley Reid for 3 first-round picks and, they'd be doing a lot better off. I don't think that's the case. I think that they got Harley Reid and they did great to get him. And I don't think he would have turned North Melbourne's fortunes around, because I think West Coast have a lot more than North Melbourne. But I do think that he was a good get for them. But I do also think, though, that when they went for, Flynn and Brockman as the other couple of trade targets that they got, I think this year they need to really focus on the draft. And they won't get the number 1 pick, because I think North Melbourne have got that pretty well sewn up now. And Richmond, I feel like they can probably win a couple of games going into the rest of the year if they get a decently healthy list on the board. So at worst case scenario, best case scenario for their draft hand, maybe they get pick 2. But I do think that if they can try and potentially trade away a couple of their top end older players, and potentially look at that sort of scenario, maybe that's a good idea, because they're not going to make finals in the next 2 years with the list that they've currently got. I think that's pretty fair to say, unless they stay absolutely at the peak and don't get any injuries. Maybe they can contend for finals, but let's be honest, you can't. Every team's going to get an injury every couple of weeks. That's just the game that we know. So there's no depth at West Coast. That's their that would be my real concern for them right now. I think they're fine pretty much everywhere else. They have one of the better spines in any team in the one of the better teams in the bottom 8 or bottom 10. So I think they're fine on that factor. But I think that is a really big concern for the West Coast Eagles. So they have to kind of build out depth, and the best way to do that is to go to the draft and potentially pick up some players that don't cost a lot and that they can build off of. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. And the last thing I wanted to say out is Adam Simpson. What happens next with him? Because I believe he's out of contract. Is it next year or this year? But there's been no real talk about him. Obviously last year there was a lot of talk about he's going to get sacked. He can't survive this year. And look, I was on the side of he probably will get sacked because of how poor they did. But they've kept him, and they've done pretty decently this year compared to last year. But there's not a lot of question marks on him talked about. And I'm not saying that there should be, but I do think that there needs to be a little bit of talk about Harley Reid's factor of them winning games. Against Melbourne, for example, they probably don't win that game without him. Let's be honest. They don't win that game. And the game they probably win this year is they win the Derby, because they played really well and it wasn't just Harley Reid who sparked them. But, I mean, they've won 3 games this year, the West Coast Eagles. So, what are you expecting from them without Harley Reid at the team? Would Adam Simpson be sitting in a worse position if it wasn't for his young star pulling them over the line? So, their other win was obviously against Richmond as well, which we've seen that Richmond weren't very good at that stage. And that was their first win of the year. So, they've beaten Richmond, they beat Fremantle, and they beat Melbourne. Looking at it, they also got smashed against the Crows. So you're looking at both ends of this. Harley Reid probably doesn't win you the game without Harley Reid, they don't win against Melbourne. The other 2 games, I would say they probably win. I think that's fair enough. I think they deserve those sort of wins. But at this point, does it need to be questioned that Adam Simpson really hasn't changed much else? I mean, has really much changed? They're not playing a lot differently. I don't really see a different game plan, so to speak. I think that they're just playing. They've just got more personnel out there, so which is good and shows that they can be a good team when they've got their personnel there. But is there really? I don't think there's a game plan, so to speak, to say that this team is, pushing in the right direction with a defensive attributes. If you're looking at Fremantle. Or they're not pushing forward as a real attacking team like Essendon, or or a real good stoppage team like Port Adelaide, or I don't know. I can just throw teams out there and say something that they're good at. But what is West Coast mantra right now? Give it to Harley Reid and hope that he can drag us over the line, and hope that our other senior players who haven't been there for the last few years drag us over the line in games. Like, that's been the last two the last 2 years have really shown that Adam Simpson's really had his hands tied behind his back. This year, it kind of feels like he should have free reign on what to do next, and it just feels like he's not doing a lot. Like, what does West Coast stand for? There's not a lot right now. Like, obviously, and that's what I'm saying with the Harley Reid stuff. He's glossed over a lot of cracks that the West Coast Eagles have had for the last few years, like this year, because he's won them the game against Melbourne. He was by one of their best players. Even against Richmond, he was pretty good, and against Fremantle, he was very good as well. So without him, do they win those 3 games? I don't know if they win all 3. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, I think there needs to be a couple of. I'm not saying that Simpson should be sacked, but I do think there needs to be questions asked about what does his team stand for, because I think at the top level, every single team has like a sort of like a point of like what do they stand for, or what are their major attributes to win them the flag, or to get them into a standing point of top finals attributes. Sydney, their kick mark game is one of the best. Their foot skills are some of the best. Carlton, their stoppage play is one of the best in the competition. Essendon, the way they win from the middle of the ground and rebound is one of their better attributes at the moment. I could name it all day, but those are those sort of things that are building for those clubs. And I just feel like the West Coast at the moment, there's not really a mantra that they have. Like, they have stopped a lot more of their possession game that just killed them over the past couple of years as the evolution of the game's come on. But I still don't think there's a real game plan to say what do they stand for as a football club. That's basically where I'm sitting at. Now, I could ramble about this all day. I'll kind of move on from that, but that's kind of my thoughts right now. I think West Coast are in a decent spot right now. I think they've got enough veteran players up there that they can build from that, but I do think that their depth is very questionable, and I do think this year and a couple of years going forward, they need to look at the draft, especially before the Tasmanian team comes in as well. But let's move on. So, a little bit of talk over the week, well, actually just before the last podcast that we did, I did, about the potential of a best of 3 grand final series. Now, this is talked about on Footy Classified with John Longmire, the Sydney Swans coach, about what would be an idea as to even out the competition or whatever, because obviously the grand...
Alright guys, we're back with the second half. Players moving back into their positions now, of course. So right now, Port Adelaide really need to respond. Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, my fingers. Stumpy. So here we go. Second half about to get underway. No, it's not. The Giants are taking a long time to get out there. So look at Zach Butters actually moving forward, trying to break the tag of Toby Bedford, of course, who's done pretty well in the first half. So here we go. Second half about to get underway. Giants kicked the only 4 goals of the second term. Port Adelaide kicked the only 3 goals of the first. So it's been a game of momentum. And from the ruck, Briggs won it first. Held without it. There was Rosie. Should get the free kick. But Port Adelaide will take the advantage. Mead. Handball over the top to McEntee. They got the overlap here, Port Adelaide. And now DBJ for the perfect start. Brilliant. Great finish there from Darcy Byrne-Jones. Great clearance, great footy there from Port Adelaide.
That was just way too easy out of the midfield.
Yeah, the Giants didn't respond from that advantage call. And then in the end, they just had the overlap. And Darcy Byrne-Jones, good finish. Only just got it there, but he did enough.
Yeah. Jackson Mead, I think, done really well ever since Rosie got injured a month ago.
Would have been nice if he did it at the start of the fucking season when I had him in fantasy, the dog. No, but he has done well the last few weeks. So that got Ken Hinkley up and about. Can some more players go with him? Great finish there, first goal of the afternoon. I don't think we need to see the disposal count from the fucking first play. Down once again, Horn Francis just couldn't grab it cleanly, kept it in front of him, got a handball away. Beaten to it there, Rosie by Whitfield, and now can counter here the Giants. Tom Green looking for the 1-2, he's going to get it. Long ball towards half forward, will it stay in bounce here for Hogan? Don't think it did. Well, it's got to be, I thought for sure he marked that. If it's either a mark or on the full. Oh no, okay, fair enough, good call from the umpire. I'll put my hand up, I'm sorry umpire. Good call, wasn't controlled. Don't make the wrong call now, I've just given you a rap. Dog. No, he didn't call it back. So 1 point the margin now. 1 down by Briggs. Green, good gather. Handball away only to Burgoyne. Now Rosie got a handball but turned it over. Daniels wrapped up, dropped it. Should be pinned. Good call from the umpire. Houston will get it. Trying to take the advantage, Port Adelaide, but just couldn't pick it up cleanly. So come back on the point of the back part of the centre square here. Houston in short to Boak. He wants to give it back, but he's just going to work the kick short here to Butters. Trying to work up from half forward now. He wants to go. Short little ball's nice. Mead, he's had a good start to this third quarter. High ball long here. Coming across was Hayes. Didn't mark. Pressure here, but I think it's a free kick against Darcy Byrne-Jones for a push. It's going to be cool. Oh, fucking... Oh, no, it wasn't to him. It was to Taylor. Who cares, though? For fuck's sake. Anyway, he gives it off immediately to guess who? Nick fucking Haynes. He goes wide. Couldn't mark that one there. Angwin hits the ground. Houston on his left foot. Inside 50. Little pot kick was nice. And I think he's got the mark there. Well, it should have been high. It wasn't the controlling umpire paid that. It was someone from a different angle. I don't know who it was, but the umpire in control had the perfect view. Didn't call it. So Darcy Byrne-Jones has been paid the mark. This would be a big goal. We have seen Todd Marshall kick a goal from the same position in the first quarter.
He's literally just...
Oh, okay, that's not... Oh, no, I think it was called a mark, but that wasn't a mark. It was a free kick, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Byrne-Jones comes on a bit of an arc. This will swing back really nice! It was touched. Well, that killed everything of that kick. You thought it was home too.
He looked about home.
So the Giants can get away here off halfback. Himmelberg. Floating kick, turned it over. They can't go back into what they did in the first quarter, the Giants. They butchered the footy. They did well in the second term, but third term starting not the best. Farrell, dangerous kick inside. Burgoyne couldn't mark, but now Butters coming through. Tapped it out, did okay. Burne-Jones, a little bit weird to throw a boot at it, and got beaten by Toby Green, who's working away. Off to Tom Green. Kick over the top was nice to Hogan. Just had to pick that one up there, Darcy Burne-Jones. So now Hogan has it on the wing on the outer side. Short little kick, lead up there from Tom Green. He's got Whitfield all on his own inside the middle of the ground. He hits him, and he can go pretty easily there, Whitfield. Short little kick, too tall there for Brent Daniels. Anyone else in the comp probably would have marked that, but he's just too short in that occasion. I know how he feels. Farrell switches it wide. Now Ratikalia has the footy in the back pocket.
Now just go down the line, not do what he did last in the second quarter.
I don't think he will be trying to switch the play. Goes with a high ball down towards the wing. Horn Francis is there, overran it a little. Iden brought it to ground. Mead tracking it. Brown overran it. Bedford, great pick up and broke away. Growing in confidence. Did brilliantly with the little move. Kicks it long. Hogan's there. Couldn't mark. Should have really done better. Now Farrell can rebound. McEntee, Houston being their best. Gives it off to Drew. Working back inside. He breaks away. Handball to Mead. They're getting in a little bit of danger, but they do pretty well there, Port Adelaide. And now Zerk Thatcher owes them one. Wide kick for Horn Francis. Haynes read it well. Spoiled it to ground. Angwin got a handball inside to Green. He shimmies. He breaks away. Kick short was nice. O'Halloran got a handball now. He goes long with the kick. Great option. Beautiful. And Riccardi finds some space in the pocket.
It was just about who could actually just compose there. And the Giants did very well there.
It was Tom Green in the middle.
Yeah, he just took that little half step. Half a moment and just found the O'Halloran.
Yeah, no, O'Halloran did well too. He could have given it off to Finn Callahan, who could have blasted from 50, but he hit up Riccardi. And now to finish off the plays, hooked it to the left. A lot of kicks going to the left on that side of the ground in this game. So behind there, no goals have been kicked at the left hand of screen all afternoon.
No,
What?
No. Yeah.
You're like, no, yeah. So 1 point now. So 1 point now to the Giants. Port Adelaide can move it quickly forward. Ollie Wines got a free man inside 50. Taylor trying to shut it down. He did pretty well. So he goes inside to Butters. Couple of options inside. And eventually, Georgiades will mark. He was the one free all on his own for about 20 seconds. Eventually got the footy, but on a tough angle. So if people don't know, the pockets at Giants Stadium aren't the deepest. So we've seen a couple of goals from the boundary over the years. Georgiades, he kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. I think the person on the side of the ground, I think he's the
paramedic.
Yeah, the paramedic. Got the phone out. So the paramedic's definitely involved in the game. He's ready to go. I think he's taking evidence in case there's an injury to Georgiades. But right now, he doesn't really capture a highlight. Goes wide to the right. So back scores level. Don't mind that from the paramedic. Just enjoying the footy from a perfect angle there. So now works it in shorty Himmelberg. He goes on a bit of a run trying to get it back from Haynes, but he's just going to blast it long. Getting out there was Buckley, couldn't mark. And now Georgiades runs away inside the forward 50. Absolute floater. Went straight back to Nick Haynes. Odd handball, but Taylor did well. Green out the back. Port Adelaide bringing the pressure. Nick Haynes.
I don't know what he's doing.
That may be the most deliberate of deliberate calls you'll ever see. Nick Haynes made a mistake, and to make up for it, gave away a free kick for deliberate.
That was the most obvious deliberate you'll ever see.
I don't know what he was doing there. He was trying to give the little pop handball to try and get Taylor on the run, but just not the option. And now Connor Rosie. Oh, the security guard's not even moving for him. So now Connor Rosie, from a tough angle, that's pretty crap from the security guard. Surely he could have moved. All right, so it's going to be called for a score review. They don't know if it was a goal or a point or out of bounds on the full. So the umpire's calls on the full. I think it was on the full.
It looks on the full.
Oh. From that bottom left angle, it looks like it may have gone through for a point. I mean, how the fuck are we
To be honest, the boundary umpire should be right behind the point post there.
Well, he's the one who called it.
Yeah,
So I think it's on the full. It must be. Huh? You saw what? What did you see? Poor.
No score.
Well, I mean, it's the right decision, but I don't know what you would have seen there, umpire. He said, the line of the ball went on the other side of the point of the... What the fuck was that? Couldn't he have just said, there's no evidence to show either or, and then just go with the goal umpire's call? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So now Himmelberg blasts it long. Did well there, Williams, to push his opponent underneath it. And now he can return favour. Gives it inside to Mead, who's building brilliantly into this third quarter. Gives it to Farrell, who runs himself into a bit of trouble. Short kick was okay to Boak. Just outside 50. Too far out to score, though. He gives it off to Farrell, who likes to kick long. He gets on his left boot. He winds up. He kicks long. And it's touched on the line.
You fucking didn't make the distance.
It got touched, and now he can return favour here, Nick Haynes. Blasts it away. Radicalera, 2-on-1 here in the Powers' favour. Farrell went to ground. He sits on it. He's going to be pinned here. No, he is not. So Lockie Whitfield at the moment, off the ground. He has a bit of a rib concern. Oh, and it's in the middle of the ground there. Do you see that top left? You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it.
I think it's Devon Soldo who hit him behind play. So that's going to be looked at. The AFL Tribunal, the match review, don't like to see that sort of stuff. So Soldo could be in a bit of trouble. So Lockie Whitfield currently off the ground with a rib concern. But now Connor Iden has it at half back. He goes long with the kick. Hogan pushed underneath it. Riccardi read it well. Good mark. He wants to go. He's got Callahan's short. Forward side of the wing now. He wants to go long once again. So he's working it into the outside pocket. Radicalea couldn't mark. It lands in the arms of Williams, who blasts it away. But it's going to be coming back. So now Riccardi has it again.
Take two.
So it's going to set it up again. Only one goal kicked in this third term. It's been a real arm wrestle. He goes high and long once again. Hogan's there, pushes his opponent underneath it. Berserk Thatcher thumps it out of bounds. So right now, this game's in a bit of an arm wrestle right now. It's a bit of a standstill. Only one goal kicked from Port Adelaide. 4 goals, 9 to either side. So both teams kicking poorly. It's a bit interesting because today in the North Melbourne Collingwood game, the kicking was pretty decent in front of goal. 19 goals, 2 from North Melbourne. Still didn't get it 1. From the stoppage, Brent Daniel snaps on goal, and the Giants back in front. Great finish there from the little man.
So they can't kick it from straight in front, and Brett Daniels does that from running towards the boundary line and doing that. Yeah.
Not a very good read there from Port Adelaide. Just letting him run way too
poor.
easily through the stoppage.
Like, the players you've got to look for in forward 50 for the Giants are Brett Daniels, Bedford, and Toby Green. And one of them will get you.
So a great finish there from Brent Daniels. First goal of the second half there for the Giants, and they regain the lead. So now Port Adelaide really need to respond. The Giants started to wrestle back a little bit of control in the last few minutes. So both teams still haven't used their subs. McMullen for the Giants. And Port Adelaide, it is
Quentin Narkle.
Quentin Narkle. I didn't know. I forgot.
And as you just saw, that Whitfield is back on the field.
So it's a 6-6-6 decision against Port Adelaide. So that will be their first warning. Oh, little big concerns here for Alia. Alia is currently off the ground and limping. Hopefully not too concerning there. Maybe a rolled ankle at best. Ollie Lord couldn't gather. Riccardi spun out of trouble brilliantly. Callahan got pushed as he kicked it, turned it over. Drew did well. Rosie breaking away. Handball over the top. Boak. He comes from 50. Slips as he kicks it. Long ball. Both players went to ground there. Whitfield over the top to Alia. And the Giants can settle it down. Callahan got an option out wide in Callan Ward. He can go. He's got acres of space. Over the top now to Kelly. They've got the overlap. They can run it all the way to the goal line almost. O'Halloran in short to Toby Green.
That was just way too easy. They just had the overlap, the Giants, and they just hit every pass.
Yeah, when they had that overlap run, it was great rebound there because Port Adelaide had it locked inside their forward 20, but then the Giants just rebounded too quickly. Port Adelaide couldn't stop them. And now Toby Green. He's had a down season on his standards, but he's just started to regain some form in the last couple of weeks. Toby Green, he's the heart and soul of the GWS Giants. He'll kick from inside 50, and he's hooked it to the left. There've only been one goal so far in this game, going to the left of screen, and a lot of those shots on goal have been going to the left-hand side. I don't think there's a breeze, so I'm unsure as to why it seems why they're both missing shots left in this game. So a long kick now from Williams. Marshall gathered it well. Kick was smothered, but it went to the wing. Horne-Francis working hard, just sockets it off the ground. The Euros are going on in Germany at the moment. He saw a little bit of that, took a little bit of inspiration, and now great pickup from Horne-Francis. He can take his time, drill it low, and slam it into the post.
Just can't take the opportunities. Either team at the moment, they just...
He did this, they did this against, who was it, about a month or two ago. They kicked 15 behinds, and they wasted an opportunity to win a big game. Was it the Crows?
It may have been, actually. May have been the
They got, they had so many opportunities in the game, and they kicked 15 behinds. I remember that. I think it was at Adelaide. It was at Adelaide Oval, so that's why I think it was the showdown. So now long kick here from Kelly Riccardi. He's taken a couple of big marks in this quarter, and he tried to fool the umpire into 50. Didn't get away with it though. They works it back inside to Tom Green. He's had a good game so far. Wants to go inside. The Tom Green has it now. Just taking their time here. Works it out wide. And he finds Riccardi again. He's really breaking the shackles in this third quarter. So about to tick under 10 minutes. He drills a low ball inside 50. Hogan got hands to it. Couldn't mark. Lands now to Kelly, who gives it back to Riccardi. They can't keep the ball off of him. Missed the kick though. Wrestling there, Thomas up against Boak. Now Port Adelaide have the numbers. Boak got a handball away. Burgoyne fighting over it with Rosie. Lord, terrible handball. Threw it away there, Hogan. Lord, throw a boot at it. Angwin slung him to the ground. Play on. Boak still got the footy. No one can break away in the phone box. And the ball will be called for a ball up. Right on 50.
I think Riccardi going into the ruck as the second ruck at the moment is helping him get into the game.
Ooh, a little bit. No, that's okay. That's fair enough.
Holding the man, but...
So now Boak trying to get a handball away. Smothered there from Angwin. Socket off the ground by Wines. Gets 20 metres on it. And Himmelberg just slides over the boundary line. So it looks like he's trying to show that he's okay here earlier. Trying to show his ankle. I think it's his right ankle. So he seems okay. I think Aliir will come back on. He looks pretty confident sitting at the front of the bench. So he'll be back on shortly. Good news for Port Adelaide. Riccardi from the ruck. Won it straight down towards Daniels. Couldn't gather. Tom Green in and under. Did brilliantly. Kelly little step. Now Callahan. They got a couple of options inside the forward 50. He sets it up towards Jesse. They're starting to flex their muscles, the Giants.
They've just, in the last 5 minutes, they've just started to dominate the midfield.
Yeah.
Stoppages.
Riccardi going in there has been a masterstroke. Yeah. He's done really well. And Briggs wasn't doing bad. In fact, he's one of the better players in the first half. But him going in there is getting him into the game. And he's really dominating Ollie Lord as the second ruck. And now an opportunity here for Jesse Hogan. He's missed a couple of opportunities today. Pretty much straight in front. For about 35 metres out. Oh. It's going to come back, but not enough. The commentator's curse coming from my brother there. Definitely orchestrated that one, I believe. Trying to get Port Adelaide another chance here. You orchestrated that to perfection.
Neither team is really they're just not putting it on the scoreboard.
Neither team want to try and win this game. No. They're going to try and kick a low score. So now Farrell's going to switch it. High ball here in front. It's Hogan again. He's kicked 3 behinds this afternoon, going into the evening. Short ball on 50. Just got the kick there to Daniels. He's been clean all afternoon. Long ball towards goal. He's kicked it wide again. The Giants just don't want to go and win this game. And Port Adelaide just hanging on at the moment. It is 8 points to the margin. Perfect conditions. Nick Dalsano just said on the commentary. And yet they're only up by 8 points. Oh, dangerous kick there from Farrell. Gives it off to Rosie. They're trying to orchestrate some run here. Farrell thumps it long on the outer wing. 2-on-2. Georgiades marked it. But I think a free kick's been given to Buckley. Tough call. I thought Georgiades did well there, but he's given him a free kick away. Jack Buckley came back into the team this week. He's such a massive inclusion. So it's going to set up a high ball towards the 50. Coming in front. Oh, it's nearly stolen out of midair there from Cadman. Daniel's got a handball away. Cadman out the back to Angwin. Trying to get a spin move going. Got it out to Ward, who jammed it on the boot into the pocket. Radicalair pushed out. Did well to get a finger to it. Riccardi couldn't gather. Radicalair went to ground. Gave it off O'Halloran. Toby Green. This is his moment. And he kicked it wide. Another behind for the Giants.
They have so much momentum here, the Giants. They need to put it on the scoreboard. They're just not doing it at the moment.
So 9 points the margin, 7:20 on the clock, third quarter. Teams have a goal each in the term. Rosie short now to Houston at halfback. He's been Port Adelaide's best by far, Dan Houston. He wants to go in the middle of the ground, but again, there's not an option. He goes to Alir up against Alir. Neither could gather. Did well there, Taylor. Handball was a rocket towards Kelly, who couldn't gather. Alir inside handball, ricocheted back to him. Do it again. He thumps it long. Iden, perfect spot.
Got pushed out too easily there, Horn Francis. Got to do better.
Looks like Horn Francis has been shoved forward here. So now Lockie Whitfield here in the back 50. Wanting to switch it. Iden gives him an option. Still in the back 50 here, the Giants, but they want to go with the long switch. Wide ball. Good mark there from Himmelberg. Handball over the top. Daniels links up. He's really working into this third term as well. They link up really well here, the Giants. The Tsunami on full display. Thomas inside give. Angwin to Ward. Missed the give, though. Bergman puts him under pressure. Ball spills out, though. Thomas can track it. The tap-ins ball did okay. And the Cadman sees it out of bounds. Just a little bit off the Giants. They are threatening to take this game away from Port Adelaide, but it's just one give that's missing. Uncontested possessions in the last 10 minutes. The Giants have got 33 to Port Adelaide 7. Dominating. Tapped it down. Smacked on the boot there from Ward. High ball. Alir is under it. O'Halloran nearly snatched it from him. Put on the pressure. Farrell got a handball away for a kick's going to go Port Adelaide's way. O'Halloran held on too long. So Alir will have it in the back 50. They are hanging on by the skin of their teeth, Port Adelaide. The scoreboard may only read 9 points, but they are getting thrashed around the footy at the moment. But if they kick a goal, it just takes away all that momentum from the Giants.
Well, like in the first quarter, they had so much momentum, the Giants, but the Power put on kicked the actual goals when it mattered. So
Zerk Thatcher works it inside to Bergman. So they're trying to get this ball in the middle of the ground here, Port Adelaide. Ollie Wines has it. Defensive side of the centre square. Not a very good kick. Drew had to work for it. It bounces now. Ward, O'Halloran smothered the give there. Farrell did well. Aaliyah, Mead had the hands free. Just got a handball away. No, gone. Ward wants to play on. On 50 now is Toby Green. He takes these moments all the time. Short little kick into the pocket was nice to Riccardi.
To be honest, he's put him in a really
tough
awkward
position,
but the way he's gone this quarter, you'd think he'd nail it, really.
I don't know if you're trying to moz him again. We'll see how we go here. Jake Riccardi's had a brilliant third quarter. He's played a little bit in the middle, trying to work him into the game. To cap off his third term, he's hit the belly of the ball. It goes across into the other pocket, and Soldo takes the mark. You're the king of the moz right now. So Soldo takes it in the back pocket. Just ticked into red time in this third quarter. Hasn't been a game for the highlight reel, I'm going to be honest. But now Farrell thumps it long towards the wing. Leah, great grab. Had his name written all over it there, Leah. He wants to go long, but again, Port Adelaide have flooded the back 50. So he's just going to set it up. Jake Riccardi in good marking form. Aaliyah couldn't mark. It spills off his knee. Got lucky there. Nearly came, look, maybe for a moment it came below his knee, but not called. So Quinton Narkle looks like he's getting ready to come onto the ground. Unsure as to who's been subbed out.
Ollie Lord.
Maybe Ollie Lord. Francis Evans hasn't had a big game so far. So maybe one of them. Tap down. Bedford read it brilliantly. From the stoppage. Nails it, Toby Bedford. He's had a brilliant afternoon going into the evening and snapped it home for a game-high 15-point lead for the Giants. That's twice in this quarter. The Smalls of the Giants have read it from the stoppage. No touch on them. Daniels first, and if he doesn't get you, Toby Bedford will. That is dreadful from Port Adelaide. That's Zach Butters. He has to do better there. didn't read it, and Toby Bedford made him pay on the tagging roll as well.
Yeah, it's just not good by Butters there. There's a defensive 50. You just got to be on the man. And Bedford's always been the pressure forward that would nail that.
Yeah, well, he's been tagging this whole afternoon, but when he gets an opportunity to kick a goal, he's going to take it.
Yeah.
He's born and bred small forward, and when he breathes an opportunity, he takes it. 15-point lead now for the Giants. Late stages of the third term. So back in the middle. Briggs with the tap down. Rosie tracks it. Finn Callahan put him on the turf. Bedford. Butters tried to put him on the turf. Drew gathered it okay. Handball over the top. Now Port Adelaide can go. Horne-Francis portrays his options. Low dart into the pocket was brilliant. And Georgiades, a chance here for his third. He's been their hottest forward of the night. But Georgiades, in the shadows of three-quarter time, to give his team a little bit of momentum going into the last change. It's a tough kick in the pocket. He had an earlier opportunity in the quarter to nail one. It was too tough for him. But he needs to kick this goal. So 2 goals, 1 for the afternoon. They kick one early in the third term, but they desperately need this one. And Georgiades stands up to the moment. Don't count them out just yet, Port Adelaide. Great finish there from Georgiades. He's been the only hope down there for the majority of the evening. And that was a great kick too.
Yeah, just... He was a lovely kick by Horne-Francis into the forward line.
It's one of the best kicks inside the forward 50 we've seen all game. Both teams have butchered it going inside forward 50. But that was a great lead up, great kick. Nothing Lee can do with that. And the kick, that was probably the perfect play for Port Adelaide they've had all game. So it's kick 3 now, Georgiades.
Probably the only hope for Port Adelaide at the moment.
Well, it's 9 points the margin. May open up in the last quarter as well. So who can take their moments here? Soldo with the tap down. Mead had Tom Green up against him. Did well. But now Houston got a handball away in his back. Play on. Callahan drives it towards centre half forward. Daniels got it beaten by Zirk Thatcher. But now Green gathers it. Handball over the top. Daniels had to come back onto it. Briggs. Tom Green. Great hands. Callahan thumps it long. At the back is Brown. Good spoil there from Bergman. Had to get there. Oh, shrugged him off as well. Bergman had a big moment there. Got the kick away. Horne-Francis can gather. Held without it. Play on, no. Great win from Miles Bergman. In the back pocket. Had to win that. Got a fingernail on the kick inside 50. And then just shrugged off Brown with disdain. So now, Boak out towards Zirk Thatcher. He definitely owes them one. Oh, the inside kick is... Oh, he goes to the hot hand of Bergman. So he has it in the centre of NG Stadium. He goes with the long switch to Burgoyne. O'Halloran overcommitted. Burgoyne, usually a good user. Towards Radicalera up forward. Couldn't mark. Marshall in the pocket. Just inbounds. Sets it up in the pocket. Haynes got a high one. Not paid. Georgiades sits on top of it with Angwin. Ball up.
I think he was out of bounds there, Marshall.
I think he was out by about a metre and a half.
But it was good by Mitch Georgiades. He just had to make a contest, and he did.
Interesting they've chucked Radicalera up forward here. Don't know about that, but I didn't think they were that bad up there. Briggs tapped down. Green got a handball away. Narkle threw a boot, couldn't nail it. Now coming through harder is Burne-Jones and just pushed over the boundary line.
I think it's more because of Ollie Lord being subbed out. I reckon that they just want another target up there.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think that's really the way they're going to win this game, Port Adelaide, is kicking to the long, tall forwards with the Giants' defence. I think their way is to get it scrambling inside. So from the ruck, fighting hard here. Butters, can he take his time? Haynes did what to shut him down. Ball in. So interesting. It looks like that maybe Radical... Oh. So it looks like maybe Radicalere doing an interesting little tagging roll up against Sam Taylor here. So that's an interesting one. They've done this in previous years. From the tap down, Narkle got a boot to it. Mead, he's had a brilliant third quarter. Time to cap it off. And he's blown his line. Blasted it on the full. So in the back pocket here, Sam Taylor has it with 1:20 on the clock. Port Adelaide would absolutely love a late goal. 9 points right now. Definitely not out of it, but they haven't played their best. Long kick. Bergman went up, couldn't mark out. The back is Houston. Free kick's been ripped out. It's going to go to Jesse Hogan. Unrealistic, maybe that was called.
Well, I think Bergman got a touch onto that, so...
Don't know what that was for.
Yeah.
So Hogan works it up now to Callum Brown. Got away from the defensive chain. He thumps it long. 1-on-1 here. Riccardi dropped a sitter. Went back onto it. Got a handball away. Zirk Thatcher, safety first.
Yeah,
Riccardi's marked everything in this third quarter and dropped the easiest one.
the Giants did that well, though, because they had the mismatch of Dylan Williams being on him. So they did it right, just that, yeah, Riccardi just couldn't take it.
Well, both teams, whoever loses this one today, will be ruining their missed opportunities in front of goal. 5 goals, 10 Port Adelaide. 6 goals, 14 the Giants. 52 seconds on the clock in this third term. So Houston blasts it towards the wing. Commentary side, Iden stands under it with Georgiades. Neither could mark. Hits the ground. Iden, quick handball to Ward, who stepped through nicely. Inside kick to Daniels. He takes the mark. 38 seconds. Heaps of time left. He'll blast it long. Alia against Hogan. Hogan read it brilliantly. Can he now take his moment with 20-odd seconds on the clock? He'll kick probably on the siren. Anything you have to say?
Nah, I think Port Adelaide have stuffed this up, though, because I think Radically was doing well on him. I just don't think they should have changed the matchup.
So Hogan, on the three-quarter time siren, he hasn't kicked one today. The stunner step coming in. He kicks this one. So at three-quarter time, the Giants lead by a game-high 16-point lead for them. He finally kicked truly Jesse Hogan. He missed 3 easy, well not easy, but he's missed opportunities today. But at three-quarter time, the Giants lead 7-14-56 to Port Adelaide, 5-10-40. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, God, I gotta go to the bathroom. Christ. Right now at three-quarter time, who are you giving the 3-2-1 votes to?
Who would I be giving it to?
I'd be giving Houston at least 1 or 2 votes. Hang on, let's have a look.
Yeah, to be honest, I would...
Would I give Lockie Whitfield a vote? Yeah. I don't know. I kind of liked Tom Green's game. I think he's played pretty well.
Yeah.
It's hard in this game because there's been so many missed opportunities at goal. You can't really pick a goal kicker. I don't know. Do you give Dan Houston 3 votes in a losing team at the moment? In a team
I
losing?
think he has been. Like, he's had,
I think he's kept Port Adelaide in it.
27 disposals, 640 minutes gained, 3 intercepts, 5 scoring involvements,
Yeah.
2 clearances, 5 inside 50. So I think it's Dan Houston at the moment. to go to the toilet.
Sorry?
They have to go to the toilet.
It's kind of faded away now. So the fourth quarter about to get underway, guys.
You know, you probably would have won if the app was updated, right?
Sorry.
If he didn't have that shoulder maker, I think he would have won this week. Because he's only on 37 butters.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I think he would have won.
So players moving back to their positions right now. So here we go. The last quarter now is underway. From the tap down, Briggs got pushed in the back almost there. Was Bedford to be a ball up. So who will win this game? If the Giants win it, they're in the 8. If the Power win it, they're in the top 2. Ward gets the handball through nicely. Kelly and now Whitfield coming off half back. Works it out wide with the kick. Angwin takes a good mark. He wants to go. Ryan Angwin. Thumps it long, just inside the forward 50. Hogan, run was a little bit interrupted there. Toby Green couldn't gather. Thomas, handball away towards Bedford. Rosie immediately on him. It'll be a ball up. So Bedford looks like he's moving to whoever it's Rosie or Butters inside the clearances. Tom Green gets a handball away. Farrell gives it through. Mead, he's had a brilliant second half. Over the top to Evans. He can run. Got locked up. Just got a kick away out wide. Great pressure there from Daniels it was. Now Briggs broke away a little bit too easily there. Green over the top now to Thomas. He feigned the give. Then to kick inside. Just had a little bit too much on it there. Aaliyah did well. Hamble turned it over. And now Kelly can wind up from 50. What a start. No, I think Zerk's actually got a touch onto it.
Yeah.
Did really well. Callum Brown did well as well, but it kind of pushed him into it, but I think it would have been touched anyway. Port Adelaide to get around with it quickly here.
Yeah, he's in by about a metre.
Yeah, did well there, Zerk Thatcher. So now Dylan Williams thumps it wide towards the one-on-one. Buckley did well to thump it down. Ward, handball over the top on the bounce to Tom Green. About gets shut down, got a handball away. O'Halloran can gather. Good work there from Williams to interrupt it. So Thatcher held without it. Should have got a free kick. And it was let go by the umpire. So now the umpire throws it up. Inside the Giants forward 50. Briggs trying to tap it towards a teammate, but Houston can gather. Handball out now. Rosie gets into third gear. Thumps it long and wide. He's got a runner out here in McEntee. If he gathers, he can go. Whitfield did really well to shut him down. McEntee threw that away. Surely. Play on, I think. How did he miss that? Narkle gave it to Farrell, was immediately under pressure and a ball up. Whitfield's angry. How is that not called a throw? He was right in front of him.
He was right in front of it.
That there, the umpire.
Jesus.
17 points the margin. Briggs takes it out of the ruck. He's ruled the roost all day. Gets it forward. That should be insufficient intent, I would say. And it was. So Dan Houston will have it here at half back. Houston wanted to go. So he's going to go with the long switch. It's a good kick to Aaliyah. Open spaces on this commentary side. He doesn't really have a lot to go to, though. Burn Jones on the lead is a terrible kick. He did well to gather it, though. 2-on-1 here. Ward got a handball away. O'Halloran got a handball as well. Ward against the grain out the back. He moves one way then the other. I don't know if he knows what he's doing, but he did pretty well with it. Tom Green, not the best handball. Missed a pretty simple handball there to O'Halloran, and it runs out of bounds. So Port Adelaide desperately need the first goal of this final quarter. So back in the ruck. Tapped down by Soldo. Green couldn't gather. He gathers it on the second, third. Yes, he does. He got tackled. Got a handball out the back. Whitfield can drive a low ball inside for Hogan. Got at the back of him. He couldn't mark. Boak, Houston, Bergman, and our Port can go. Out wide is McEntee. He can have him as an option here. He works it over the top. Evans now to him. He got met hard there by Buckley. Probably a free kick, not paid. Evans goes in hard with Angwin, who wraps him up. And it'll be a ball up. So on the outer wing here, Jack Buckley did brilliantly there. Had to get to that spoil. He did well. Soldo probably held Briggs, wasn't paid. Daniels quickly up handball now to Tom Green. Gets the ball towards half forward on the bounce. Did well there, Callum Brown, to jump up and smother the bounce. He went one way, kicked it to the other. Did well now to Kelly. He could probably thump this. He gives off the handball to Ryan Angwin, who can kick a big one. He kicked it wide. He's lucky to score.
They had so many players running inside 450 there. They could have nearly rolled it.
Raffled it to the goal line.
Yeah, that was big let off.
They lead by 18 points, but they're just leaving the door ajar here for Port Adelaide. So Mead goes to Aaliyah at half back. He thumps it long. One-on-one here is Georgiades. He gets out the back. Evans up against Whitfield. He throws a boot at it. It was an okay decision, but Radicalier wasn't in the front spot. So Taylor takes the mark in the back 50. So now Sam Taylor. High ball and wide. Bergman couldn't mark. Hits the ground. Boak. Age never wearies him. Works it inside. They can go here, Port Adelaide. Farrell is winding up on that big long left boot of his towards Marshall. Almost dragged it down. Coming through hard as Georgiades trying to throw a boot at it. Couldn't do so. Aaliyah almost in the back. And a ball up. About 25 metres out for Port Adelaide's goal. They desperately need the first goal of the last quarter.
You're looking at Butters here.
So McMullen comes on. Cadman subbed out. Green got a handball away. Kelly bombs it away. Bo couldn't get there. Burgoyne did well to smother the bounce. He gets a handball clear. Aaliyah couldn't gather. He did okay to keep it in front of him, but O'Halloran body lined it. Did well. Free kick's been given away for a throw. Ooh. I feel like the other one was a lot more obvious than that one, but anyway, umpire was in the perfect spot. So now Mead. He wants to go that kick. He telegraphed it, but he gave it in the end to Butters. Outside 50.
So I was going to lead at him.
He goes short. Didn't really read it. Horne-Francis let it bounce in front of him. High free kick to Jason Horne-Francis. He's just built for big moments, Jason Horne-Francis. Can he take his opportunity now? It was definitely high. It was accidental, of course, but Tom Green gives away a big free kick. So now Jason Horne-Francis. He's built like a 200-game player. The young man hooks a crucial chance.
Hooked it like most players have today.
I don't know what it is with that end and that side of the goal face, but they've kicked it left, I think, nearly every single set shot this afternoon. So 17 points to the margin, the same as it was at three-quarter time. Goes long, great mark from Hogan. In front of the interchange gates. He wants to go. Ward, he's had a brilliant afternoon. Thumps it long. 1-on-1 free kick, Bergman. Toby Green not impressed, but he knows he gave away the free kick. Bergman's been really good today, well, especially in the second half. He's won some crucial one-on-ones. So now Bergman thumps it long. High ball. Georgiades got up, almost dragged it down a big one. Boak overran it, and Ward just takes it over the boundary line. So back in the ruck. Soldo won it down and again will be recalled. So 14 minutes, 4 seconds on the clock. There's heaps of time for a couple of late goals here for Port Adelaide to snatch it. But this game has been an arm wrestle from the outset. Both teams yet to score a goal in this final quarter as well. I feel like if the Giants get it, it's game over. If Port Adelaide get it, it's game on. Almost high against Briggs, for Briggs, and he'll get the free kick.
I don't get what Port Adelaide were doing in that stoppage. Like, I think Kelly was... There was like 3 or 4 midfielders there that were all by themselves.
So Briggs gets the free kick. He's been one of their best today, the Giants, probably in the votes. Back to Iden. They want to switch it here, the Giants. Doesn't really have that option, though. Takes a bounce. Has a lot of time to work with, though. Wide kick. Marshall going back. Great mark from Buckley, and he can go. He takes a bounce. He can take another. He gave over the top the handball. They've got the overlap. Thomas can kick from 50 and shut the gate. Another miss. In fact, it was McMullen, but a terrible miss. And they just can't put Adelaide away at the moment. So 18 points to the margin. Dan Houston has it. He's been Port Adelaide's best. They need a couple more of him out there. So now Burgoyne. I think Port Adelaide just have to fire now. They might as well lose it by 40 points if they're not going to go hard for it. Buckley couldn't win it. Narkle did well to keep it in front. Did brilliantly there, Quinton Narkle. Read it well. The low kick towards Radikalia, who marked. So now Radikalia. What's he going to go? He's going to blast it long towards Georgiades. Good mark. Spoil there from Haynes, but Georgiades kept his feet. It hit the ground. Evans pushed out of it. Iden back to Haynes, and they live up to it again, the Giants. Drew about to put on some pressure. Haynes with the kick away. Did well to O'Halloran. It was a good kick to Georgiades, but Haynes just got a fingertip on it. So now O'Halloran with a low ball. Aaliyah couldn't mark. Gets out the back, but Bergman is there to clean up. He's got an option in short. He blasts it long again. Radikalia is there. They got the numbers. Radikalia went up hard. Couldn't mark. Free kick is going to... Marshall? Soldo? Marshall.
No idea.
Don't know what that was for, but it's going to be called here to Rowan Marshall. To Todd Marshall.
It's high, I think they gave it as...
We'll see it here. Oh, yeah, there it is. The hand over the shoulder. It was it's a very dubious free kick, but it was there. So Todd Marshall to get the first goal of the final term and maybe get Port Adelaide started. Todd Marshall.
Does it?
Kicks it wide.
No, he doesn't. Idiot.
No team can kick the first goal. No one can make the first blow.
Nearly 9 minutes into the quarter. 9 minutes of playing time.
It's still 11:38 on the clock. Himmelberg. He's going to go to the commentary side. They've done it a lot in this last term. Bergman is there. Hogan as well. Good gather from Aaliyah. Inside give missed him. Callahan, great hands to Hogan. Over the top. Toby Green gathered. He saw a teammate on the outer. It did nicely to Riccardi. Now Josh Kelly will work onto his left. He handled over the top to Daniels. Brown went onto the ground at the back end. And Quinton Narkle
what is he doing?
Pushed Toby Green, but Tom Green will mark. But it looks like Toby Green is actually going to get the free kick. Tom Green took the mark, but the free kick was given. I'd much rather Tom Green to have it, but nonetheless.
Well, this could just shut the game. Like that, he just overran that Quinton Narkle. It was just the worst moment to do that. You try to go. I don't know. He's trying to go for a spectacular mark. It's just.
So now Toby Green to end the game from the Giants and give them a big win. He drills it low. He makes it work. And Toby Green may well have shut the gate. How you doing, Jamal? What are you up to tonight? Well, they had to kick that one. For Christ's sakes, they've kicked so poorly in this last quarter.
The Giants tsunami just took over there. They just always had the outside man. And Brett Daniels, it was the right kick. There was three there. It was Toby.
Narkle just had to stay on the ground there.
Yeah,
he just had to. He had to stay on Tom Green there because he wouldn't have been able to mark it, and he wouldn't have given away the free kick to Toby Green if he didn't go up.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate because he had a really good moment on the outer side, Narkle, before, but unfortunately there he's given away a big goal. So Toby Green kicks the goal, 23 points the margin, game high for either team. He's hit 1 goal 5 this afternoon, Toby Green. So he finally nails it. Free kick's being called. It's going to go to Zach Butters. Well, if Port Adelaide are going to somehow steal this one, they're going to have to do it now. And this guy's got to have an influence. He's been shut down all day from Toby Bedford. Low dart inside 50. And Quinton Narkle kind of owes them one. Started at the Cats. Got delisted. Picked up as a mid-season draftee last year, Quinton Narkle. Hasn't played until today this year. Been biding his time in the sandful. But right now, one of the bigger moments he'll have in Port Adelaide colours. He drives it long. It's threatening to fade back. And he thumps it into the right goalpost. They just can't keep that door ajar, Port Adelaide. They just need a goal. Very similar to the showdown.
Yeah.
4 goals, 9 in the second half for Giants. 2 goals, 6 to Port Adelaide. For Christ's sakes. They just can't. Neither team are trying to just blow this game open. So Riccardi comes up, takes a good mark. He's had a really good second half, Jack Riccardi. Kick inside to Haynes. If they can just take a few minutes off the clock here, the Giants, they can well and truly take this game away from Port Adelaide. 25 scoring shots to 18, yet the scores are only over 100, just over 100 from between both the sides. Good mark there from Harvey Thomas leading up.
Done some nice things today, is Thomas.
Yeah, he has, I agree. So now Thomas, he wants to go. May not be much in stature, but he does really well. Plays beyond his years. Long kick to Riccardi again. Trying to get himself in the Bounty Riders' votes. Thumps it into the pocket for Brown. Hands, well on there, Zerk Thatcher, thumped it to ground. Aaliyah went in hard. Marshall wraps him up. God, they're threatening to blow this game out, the Giants. They just can't convert. This could have been a 12-goal thumping for either team if they kick straight.
Yeah.
Riccardi thumped it down. Daniels gets boots the ball towards the pocket and out on the full. So Zerk Thatcher. Did it land on the line?
No.
No, it didn't. So Zerk Thatcher will get the free kick. So now Zerk Thatcher going to thump it long down the wing. It's not a very good kick though. And Himmelberg will read it and mark. 8.5 minutes to play. It's not beyond them on the scoreboard, but just the game, how it's been tracking. He thumps it low, Himmelberg. Green couldn't mark. It bounces in the pocket and out of bounds. Just doesn't feel like Port Adelaide believe they can make a win here.
No, and Port Adelaide has just been dominated in the midfield for most of this game, to be honest. Where it's been their one wood all year, but that's where the Giants have got them.
Well, there is one thing here. Port Adelaide did come back for 41 points against the Hawks. That was a little bit further back, but nonetheless, a little bit more time they had. But now Port Adelaide, if they're going to try and steal this one, they've got to go now. Houston can go from centre half back. He takes a bounce. They've just got to charge forward. They might as well lose it by 40 if they're not going to charge and try and win it. Georgiades kept it in for the moment. Whitfield shut down by McEntee. Great tackle. So he did well. 8 minutes left.
I just don't know why Dan Houston just didn't go through the midfield. He went out wide.
Yeah, if he was going to go out wide, he had to hit the kick.
Just had to go down the guts.
So throws it back in. Wine's having to play second fiddle in the ruck. Riccardi won it down though. Butters against the grain. Little spin move was nice. He's been shut down all day. Gives it back to Burgoyne, who can drive it long again. Pack of players form. In front is Marshall. Couldn't mark. And Taylor gives it away. Missed the give though. Rosie, good gather. Ward wraps him up without it. Play on. Don't know how the umpire missed that. Houston gave it away straight to Lee Calaire. Toby Green couldn't gather. Callahan went in hard. So did Bergman. Wines gathered. And now Evans, again, just thumps it long. Didn't really have much thought about it. Buckley going back. Couldn't mark, though. Horn Francis with the pressure. Socking it towards goal. It rolls, it tumbles. And Haynes taps it through for a rush behind.
Been doing that for years, Nick Haynes. Just didn't get enough. Just didn't put his boot through it. Yeah.
There's just been no method with Port Adelaide going forward in the second half. They've just thumped it long and hoped for the best.
Yeah.
With Charlie Dixon there, it can work. But without him, none of these guys really break the packs.
No.
So now Lockie Whitfield goes low towards Tom Green, who marked well. He wants to give. But now Travis Boak just shuts that down quickly. 7 minutes left, 21 points to the margin. He goes wide. Coming across nicely, there was Evans. He takes the mark. He's done okay in this last quarter, Francis Evans. Looks like Zerk Thatcher holding the back of his leg there. I'm not sure if it's cramp or a hamstring. That could be a little bit of a concern there for Port. So he goes long with the kick. Georgiades! Got a touch onto it. Lucky he didn't bloody break a neck. Whitfield got a handball away. Taylor charging for the line. And
that was the only reason though that was not a free. But that's just... you just have to... Oh, jeez.
Super dangerous.
Oh, head first into the ground. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
So from the tap down, Briggs pushed off it. Now coming through hard is Rosie. Gives the handball at the back to Houston, who'll blast it towards the pocket. Radicalier up against Buckley. Did want to bring it to ground. Marshall at the back to Drew. He can't get onto his right boot. Free kick is going to be called. And it's going to go to Callan Ward. Again, that was probably a better kick. It wasn't just blasted towards the top of the goal square. But it
wasn't to his advantage.
Yeah. Good smother there on the outer side. Port Adelaide can link up here. Inside give to Evans. Now Boak gives it off to Houston. He's been their best all day. The little pop kick to Radicalier. Well, his career started in the forward line. Just didn't take his role there. He went to the back line. Found where he was most wanted. Then moved to Port Adelaide this year.
I still think... I think Dash Houston should have just...
I think he should just blast it along.
I think he's got the distance from there.
So Asava Radicalier to keep Port Adelaide alive in this one. He kicks towards goal.
And the defender does it!
Maybe keep him up forward more often. Kicks the door open for Port Adelaide.
So
Good finish there from Radicalier.
No bloody forward for Port Adelaide can do it, and the makeshift defender goes forward and kicks the first goal of the quarter for it.
I need the fucking toilet so badly.
Yeah, you keep it. So the first time you stay boo in the commentary box.
Alright, so Port Adelaide with 5 minutes and 23 seconds, 15 points down. And they've decided to chuck Asava Radicalier straight back to fullback. Just great decision, I think. Why do that now? For the last 15, 20 minutes you've had him forward. Alright. They just need to get it out of the midfield, the power, if they got any chance here. Kieran Briggs down, goes to Rosie, goes to Butters, somehow gets it out of the scramble, kicks it down. Oh, big collision, and under the legs, free kick against Briggs for Burn Jones. Don't know if that's really there, but he's given it. Play on. Burn Jones just needs to put it inside 50. Small kick. 70 metres out to Butters. But it's just a chip kick. Gives it to Marshall. Marshall 45 metres out. 4 minutes 50 seconds on. Takes the mark.
Around back now.
So Todd Marshall, they've looked unlikely throughout the majority of this last quarter, but a chance here to get them back within 9 points. Todd Marshall kicks it wide, and a big opportunity goes begging. How you doing, Jay Tomo? 14 points to the margin.
Just, I don't know why you decide now to chuck radically back if you've had him all down, this whole quarter down forward.
So now Himmelberg goes long with the kick. Williams probably should have marked that. Went up with the fist. Hits the ground and just couldn't gather it in time. There was Josh Kelly. 3:57 on the clock. Oh no, the chair isn't. It's not the chair is out. Okay, there we go. So umpire throws it back in again. Briggs with the tap down. Tom Green all on his own at the stoppage. Gives it out the back now to Kelly on the right boot. High ball to half forward. Hogan up against Aaliyah. Aaliyah probably should have deserved the free. Didn't get it. Out the back is Harvey Thomas. To truly shut it home. Oh, he's went wide.
God. Why didn't you just go for it?
Trying to be unselfish. Riccardi can't gather. Angwin pushed off it. Drew kept it in. Riccardi locked up. And out of wing, out of half forward. The ball called for a ball up. 3.5 minutes to play. Thomas could have finished the game. Was trying to do the team thing, but probably an opportunity to be selfish there. From the ruck, both of them tussle. Couldn't get it out of there. Angwin jams it on the boot into the pocket. Radicalier should have marked.
That.
He would have taken that in the forward line.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
May not be their day, Port Adelaide. They've had their opportunities in this last quarter. They haven't taken them. Giants have only kicked the one goal, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's only been one goal each.
Yeah, they've only kicked one goal each. Toby Bedford's had a brilliant day. Briggs won it down. Daniels trying to gather, went low, play on. He let him go. And now Toby Bedford to cap off his evening. Rolls it through for a point. It gives it back to Port Adelaide.
Three minutes, 6 seconds. He's just got to go down the guts here, Farrell.
So now Farrell. Short little kick was good. He hit Aaliyah, who just has to go. He'll thump it long towards half forward. Burnt Jones is the hope. He got pushed out of it there. Whitfield can gather. He broke past one. Did really well there, Whitfield. Now Angwin goes short. Finds Bedford. So now Bedford. He wants to wheel. He'll send it long into the pocket.
Oh, God.
Kicked it on the full. They're giving Port Adelaide an opportunity here.
I just don't think Port Adelaide have enough.
They don't have any belief.
They don't have enough. Yeah, they don't have enough belief. I don't think to win this.
They don't have their forward structure either. Like Aaliyah then had no option other than to kick to Burn Jones. So Radicalier thumps it down the wing. Push almost. In front was Buckley. 1, 2, 3. Couldn't gather. Now Taylor kicks it wide. The bounce will matter here. Play on. Going back with it was Drew did well. Burgoyne underground handball was okay. They've just got to take the advantage. They're not going to. 2 minutes 22 on the clock. 15 points the margin. Drew looks inboard. He just has to go. The kick was nice. Slow to Evans. He marks. Could be 50. Not called. Play on. Missed the handball to Williams. He has time. Handball almost to the toes. Burgoyne shut down. And now McMullen. Inside give now to Riccardi. They can shut the gate here. Wide ball now to Hogan. Takes his time.
Got no options forward, and he's going to take every second he can get.
Hogan goes with the wide ball to Riccardi.
Rosie just needed some hope. all he could take was the hope there.
Riccardi works in short to Daniels. God, they haven't lived up to the moment in this last quarter, GWS. But Josh Kelly, the veteran, shuts the gate for the game. Great finish, Josh Kelly. And finally, someone takes their moment. Holy crap. Couldn't the Giants just fucking relax? Jesus. So many opportunities in this last 5 minutes where they just have to stop.
I just don't know what Bergman's doing there. Like, he tries to give the handball, a 2-meter handball to Bergman when he just had to go forward. Oh, it was Magnus. It was Francis Evans.
Yeah, there's not much he could have done there.
Nah, he was just hoping that he just had the mismatch, and there's not really much else he can do really. And yeah, Kelly, the class on his left to shut it.
So a minute 34 on the clock. The Giants have finally put this game to bed. They'll sit in the 8 tonight. Josh Kelly being good this afternoon. Right now, I'd probably give Kieran Briggs a 3 votes, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think, Kieran Briggs, Riccardi, and...
They're the Houston,
Bedford.
Whitfield. Yeah, Bedford, yeah. I'd almost give him 2 votes.
Yeah, I think,
Bedford.
you give Bedford 2, and... who's the one that I said for 2?
Riccardi. Riccardi won.
Yeah, Riccardi won, yeah.
They've all played their roles today for the Giants. Minute 11 on the clock. Bergman couldn't gather. He's been okay. So Port Adelaide, opportunity to hit the top 2 tonight. Will now be languishing outside the top 4. So the tap's down from Soldo. Pushed away there. Tom Green did well. Now Angwin can set up for a long launch to get the true party started with Toby Green. Well on the Radicale to bring it to ground. Now Daniels into a spin. Inside kick to Hogan. They're just playing with him now, the Giants. And Jesse Hogan. He's had some big opportunities today. He finally kicked truly on 3/4 time. Now the Giants just setting up for next week against the Sydney Swans. So now Hogan with 20 seconds to go. Still challenging for the Coleman, and he's missed another one. 9 goal, 19 from the Giants today. You know, I think they deserve to win this by 40-odd points, but they're not going to do that. Long kick here. Briggs couldn't mark. Horne-Francis. Too late, though. Butters will run away. But it's all about the Giants tonight. They have won a big game. They're back in the 8. And right now, the Giants just setting their season up. Port Adelaide lose the game they needed to win. But great win from the Giants in the end. The final score was 9-19-73. You're reading that correct. To Port Adelaide, 6 goal 15. Not a lot better, 51. So a 22-point win there to the Giants. A great win from them in the end. As we were saying before with the votes, I agree. Kieran Briggs with the 3. I think the tagging role from Toby Bedford was brilliant. He would get 2 for us. And then the 1 vote will go to Jake Riccardi. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Although Tom Green was pretty good in the midfield, but I think give it to Riccardi in that with a match.
I think the second half of Riccardi, moving him into the midfield with the second ruckman role,
really
opened him up and opened his game up.
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know, by the way, we're not talking about Brownlow votes. This is our channel votes, and sometimes it's more about more influence and team stuff. So that's why Toby Bedford for us would get votes here, because his role against Zach Butters and even Connor Rosie at times were brilliant. They shut them two truly down. But yeah, guys, it's basically going to end the stream. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, guys. The review will be out probably in a couple of hours from now, so make sure to check that out. And the podcast should have you on this week. Yes, it will. And I'm also setting up a video I say that should be out probably next Monday, if not the Monday after, depending on how quickly I can get that one done.